But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today.
Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. Yeah, this is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lotman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflotman.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Hi, this is Chris Ponda from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who just celebrated 10 years of sobriety, I am proud to be a part of a place that can provide an amazing opportunity for growth and freedom from active addiction. If you or a family member are battling addiction, there is hope. You are worth recovery. The incredible team of highly trained professionals at Illinois Recovery Center will provide the care and support that you need. A new beginning is ready for you at IRC in Swansea, Illinois. Start your journey now at illinoisrecoverycenter.com.
John, it's time.
For what?
The kitchen. It was fine when we moved in, but that was when we were poor. Now it's falling apart.
Poor? Just because I didn't support your Zen Garden idea doesn't mean we're poor.
These quick fixes the previous owners did just to sell this place is not cutting it anymore.
Okay, let's go.
Where?
To Collier and Thompson. If we're gonna do it, it should be done the right way. And honestly, they've got everything we'll need, and I don't want to go to 6 or 7 different stores. What do you say? Babe?
John, they close at 5. You're wasting daylight.
This couple knows what they're doing. Collier & Thompson is first class, top-of-the-line products with high-quality work. If something goes wrong, my guy Matthew will go back and help out. Collier & Thompson remodels kitchens, bathrooms, man caves, office space, bars, wine rooms, even fireplace walls. Their 10,000-square-foot showroom with more than 20 kitchen displays is on Manchester Road in Baldwin, right next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Let Collier & Thompson bring your dream remodel to reality online at collierandthompson.com.
It's golf season, and that means it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be. Shop the odds on the app for every tournament. Circa Sports has high betting limits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Get your golf bets in for every tournament. Visit circasports.com today. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGMB to 833234.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad. After a serious car accident, people have 2 questions. Why me and what now?
Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Krupin, and my law firm Brown & Krupin sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Krupin, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the morning after live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown & Krupin Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to TMA, presented to you by Brown & Krupin. Welcome, friends, to the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Selvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, Action Jackson, and KG in O-Town with you here on the program. And we welcome you to become a friend of the Feather by calling in the Collier and Thompson phone lines, 636-9004 TMA, texting in the Jeff Lotman Compass Realty text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, and emailing in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Jam-packed show for you today as we get you ready for the Cardinals and White Sox this weekend in St. Louis. This is the one, Doug, and this is the one you got.
Well, there's no more attractive opponent to come to town than the White Sox, the Shy Sox, or the Pale Hose, whatever you prefer. I kind of miss the days when they would come in here with Nellie Fox and Juan Pizarro. But those guys have been retired now for about 50 years, so I don't suppose we'll see them this weekend. The White Sox have had a few good players over the year, but not many. I mean, the Big Hurt was about the best guy going there for a while.
Whether you hate Jermaine Dye.
I think he might have been a little overrated, but I don't hate him.
Bobby Abreu, I think he's still playing, isn't he?
I don't think so. They really haven't, when you come to think about it. They haven't had, for as long a storied a franchise as that is, they haven't had a whole lot of great players.
What do you got against Joe Jackson?
Well, he got blackballed from the game.
Jake Peavy pitched there for a little bit.
He was a star in San Diego.
I think he pitched for the White Sox.
He might have been there. They won it, in 2005?
2005 over the Astros, yes.
Yeah, with Cliff
Should have been the
Polite.
Cardinals.
With Vianney's Cliff Polite.
Cliff Polite.
Pitching for the Shy Sox.
And then there was Mark Burley. He pitched there, and didn't he get a perfect game or a no-hitter?
He had a perfect game, I think.
Yeah.
There or Toronto.
Parkway North, no? Parkway North or Central?
I think he was out in St. Charles County somewhere.
I mean, he might have been a Howell Central guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a Parkway.
Wanted to end his career in St. Louis, and the Cardinals had no interest.
Oh, well, I wouldn't get down on him.
Angry Anthony Pagano's not happy about something, but I don't know what there wouldn't be to be happy about. But then again, he's Angry Anthony Pagano.
Right.
Someone, and I mean someone, better ask Iggy who Marshall Kent is. If I have to listen to his bowling, make him accountable. He can't talk bowling without this van bowling if he can't or pleased himself to something creepy. Doug, that's angry Anthony Pagano.
That's a nice little message to send us.
Need somebody to interpret that.
What? What kind of message is that first thing on Friday morning?
Huh?
That's what we all should have said. Huh?
Oh,
Who's Marshall Kent?
And hold him accountable.
He's a bowler that I believe he lost E.J. Tack in the World Championship.
Remember E.J. Jr., Doug?
Yes, I do. Linebacker?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Who was E.J. Tack?
E.J. Tackett.
Tackett, another bowler
He's
who lost.
Yeah, he just made. I think he was named Bowler of the Year last year. I think he beat him in the finals. I don't watch bowling anymore, but I think I read something on Facebook where he lost.
Okay.
So I don't know what you want me to comment on. I don't watch bowling anymore.
So why would,
Angry Anthony Pagano needs to call in, Doug, 636-9004 TMA.
Why would Marshall Kent's name even come up so early?
You have to ask this guy. I couldn't make out most of the email anyway, or the text.
Have you been tub thumping for Marshall Kent?
I haven't mentioned Marshall Kent in ever.
Well, stop it.
I don't even think it was bowling when we stopped Kegler's Corner. Now, if I brought it back, it'd be the talk of the town. I'd probably get him on the air, but...
That'll do it. Back to you, Steve. That was my sign-off.
It was a signature. It was like good night and good luck.
Usually after someone in your earpiece told you wrap it up, it's
Right.
raining.
Yeah. Got the 5-day we need to hit.
I will say that somebody pointed out yesterday about bowling. They have a seniors tour that, the older players bowl over 50. What's his, Burkett?
That's my last name.
Jackson Burkett.
No, the former pitcher.
Lou Burdett.
Oh, Burkett.
Jesse?
Burkett. Anyway, he played for San Francisco.
Not much of a story so far.
He's on the senior tour. He's a good bowler. He's on the
Okay.
senior tour. And they asked a bowler how much money a senior can make, and he said, I cashed 14 or 15 tournaments last year and lost money. So there's no money in bowling anymore.
I'm
about
not.
to get paid in the Escalade.
I would say not. What happened to the poor schleppers who don't win?
You cashed in 14 or 15 events and lost money.
Let's hope no Cardinals or White Sox players wear socks above their ankles because Jackson will shame you for it after he wears the same high socks. That's from Todd Reesing. Doug, the messages this morning.
Yeah, they're very odd.
Cryptic. I do feel bad about coming after Todd Reesing like that because he was nothing but a nice guy to me out there.
A gentleman and a Jayhawk.
He was. He was. I think the question came up that do I think Todd Reesing went to John Burroughs? And I said, based upon his socks, I do not think so.
Yeah.
Having said that, I wish I wouldn't have cast such aspersions.
You thought you were out of line a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between, like, certain socks and tall black socks with golf shoes.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's not my place to judge.
No.
So I apologize to Todd Reesing and the Todd Reesing family.
All right.
I'll catch you guys next week. This is brutal. Doug the Loomster, who was one of the finalists, I believe, for the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, has just checked out.
He didn't last 5 minutes today. What were you expecting? It's the same show.
We haven't really done anything yet. Now, Jackson, I will say that I've said this many, many times. For people that come in and always trash me, and I think the ones that are serious, I'll say this too, is that, you've never met me. Why don't you meet me at a TMA event and see if you still think I'm an awful person? So I said that about Licks. I said, what a douche.
Oh.
He turned out to be a really nice guy. Had a nice
did he?
time on the golf course. So, until you meet somebody, you really can't judge them.
A sock shamer is the worst type of bully. That's from Minute Bowl Eligible. Do you believe that?
I think so. It cuts deeply when someone insults your socks.
My God, what did I do? Here he goes. That's from Angry Anthony Pagano.
What did you do? You can't write is what you can't do.
He asked the question, and then Iggy answered it, and now he's mad that he answered it?
Right.
Yeah.
Marshall Kent has got a lot of explaining to do.
I mean, I'm a guy call in and ask a bowling question. You answer, and he goes, God, quit talking bowling. The same guy who sent in the text.
That's a trap. He forgot to switch to the other burner.
Oh, God.
Well, it's not the greatest getaway we've ever had on a show, but I think we'll bounce back.
I do. I like where we are right now.
Okay.
I really do. They're not happy that the Plowhawks name is still in the open. I don't know which one that was. Something along the lines of got to hand it to the producers. Day 5 of the Plowboy not being here, and he's still in the open.
You bet.
Oh, who's supposed to do that? Is that
I don't
Iggy's
know.
job?
I'll whatever.
Is that something Iggy was supposed to do?
No, certainly
No,
not.
I don't do production. I could if they asked me, but no, I couldn't because I don't know how to edit it.
Well, there goes that. I don't either. I used to, not on this equipment.
No, I know how to edit on Jackson's old computer because I've come in and done it before, but I think it's all new software now.
We can put the stuff you're used to back there. Either way, but I will talk to the people that do help us with our imaging.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that imaging,
like returns in the open.
Yeah.
And I'll say, hey, can we cut the Plowhawk out of there? Even though I don't know, it seems pretty benign.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're like duped. You're like, oh, there's a Plowboy on because the guy said in the open it's been playing for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we should just leave him on there in case this job that he left doesn't work out.
It's true. As soon as I take it out, he'll scurry right on back. Now I'll talk to the person, Hubbard Marty, and we'll get it taken care of.
Okay. Because it's a concern to quite a few people.
Apparently.
If it hits week 2, does it become an in memoriam? Doug, that's from Milagro. Texture of the year, Arbor Day.
They listen, they just pick everything apart.
Well, we still have the very first, our first week when we had imaging put together, and Carly is, here's Jackson with 3 other ways to get it, and TMA. And that's still playing. That was done 2.5 years ago.
Chuck Vindaloo's in the YouTube chat, Doug, and he says, I'm going to stick around. It's Friday, and I can't wait for the Europa League talk.
We're getting into the Europa League.
Yep. Chuck Vindaloo will be with us for the next 2 hours and 43 minutes. And then Jackson and I will go down the hallway. And that's fun because it's a Friday 6-shooter. No 6-shooters. Just unbelievable.
So do you have anything, or are you just going to shoot guns in the air?
I'll do both. I got 6 hot questions just for you, Doug.
Have you?
Well,
good questions, I hope.
That's subjective.
Just anything will work on a Friday, right?
No.
Just get to the hour.
No,
there's more to it.
We don't just check boxes, baby.
I wouldn't think
we bring the heat. We do the work.
Always the sign of a good employee who waits for people to ask him to do something instead of taking the initiative and helping out. And this is why Ken was always number 2 in Springfield. That's some glove blogger Tom Traven.
8% crestfallen.
Yeah, there was a hit. There was a hit.
Well, I'm just tired of it. I mean, do I go to your job and say, look, I know you're not in charge of fries, but could you help him out a little bit?
You've been critical of his glove blogs.
He's really cornered that market. People are scared to get into glove blogging because Tom Traven's just lurking.
It's not even a major in college, I don't believe.
Glove blogging?
Gloving.
It's like an emphasis. You know, you might major in
minors
textiles, but then emphasize in gloves.
Hey, Doug, watch this. Tired. People bitching about the Open. Wired. I'm still waiting for these damn show replays from 10 a.m. to noon. The guy in the station ID talks about. Where is my replay? That's from Brian Henshin, who's keeping his eye on the Colts secondary today.
Wow. I'm so tired of some of these townspeople.
Flip that up. 2 questions. Chairman Cart, these are for you.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not sure I'm taking questions today.
Yeah, I don't usually either.
Well, you can decline to answer after you hear them. Is it okay for a player in the tournament to establish a handicap playing from the white tees and then playing from the senior tees in the tournament? And second, are you allowed to carry 2 putters in your bag? That's from Cuckleberry Finn.
Yeah, I'll touch on these. Number 1, I think if they move up to the senior tees, it changes the handicap.
That's correct.
And number 2, are you allowed to carry 2 putters in your bag? As long as you're not hitting 15, you can have 8 putters in your bag. I don't care.
I mean, this guy is like Tom O'Toole on the show, Doug. I mean, this is USGA president material.
Really?
Well, nothing against
all the rules.
Nothing against KG. It's you don't care. It doesn't. It's a USGA rule. You can have 13 putters and a wedge in your bag if you want, as long as it's not 15 clubs.
Billy Baru.
I think I said that.
No, you said if you want to have 8 putters, that's okay with you. Well, it doesn't matter if it's okay with you. It's a USGA rule. If you said how you can't do it, then you'd be wrong.
Well, this is my tournament.
Oh, gosh, he's really taking control of it. And that got you. We're up to 12%.
And you're not even in it anymore, so don't worry about it.
I'm not crestfallen.
12%.
Just answering a question. It has nothing to do with him. It's,
Well, you hung your
it's a
head a little
USGA
bit.
rule.
The question was for me, not you.
Oh, 15.
Today might be a full crest.
No, it's not crest. It's stupid.
Oh, what an orgy.
Hey, Doug, there's Brian Henshin. Hey, why don't you support the sponsors? And the name of the game is Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. Sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour here on TMA and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. And I was talking with Jamie Burkhardt last night. What a gentleman. You know, when I was talking to him, he called me, and he was in the midst of podcasting, and he was enjoying Gatlinburg talk, which was a feature of yesterday's program.
Has he ever been there?
Didn't get into whether or not he had an opportunity.
Don't you come after one of the sponsors.
Yeah, but
I'm not coming after them all. Jamie just looks like a guy that would take a nice family trip and up in the mountains and relax.
I just enjoyed the segment. That's what I know. StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com, and you can text or call and talk directly to them. 314-252-0029. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Even if you didn't get your car from there, get it serviced there. And the deal they have to offer right now, the following. 2024 Acura MDX Premium, no money down, $589 a month for the TMA loyalty discount. 48-month lease. It's the car I'm driving. Maybe that's why they picked it, Doug.
It must be a great car. I'm sure they saw you enjoying it and say, boy, this is the car the Lemmings are going to want.
Maybe that was the reason.
Who wouldn't want it?
Sharp play. It is Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Doug, we got a title sponsor, and that company is Brown & Krupin. Andy Krupin's going to be in here at 8 o'clock, matter of fact.
Well, that'll be great. We always enjoy talking to Andy or his father, Terry Krupin, or Ed Herman. One of them comes in about once a week, and we hear what kind of wisdom they have to bestow upon all of us, and it's usually terrific. They've been around a long time in the St. Louis area. The company was founded in 1979, and it's grown to become one of the largest personal injury firms in the entire Midwest. They have more than 250 legal professionals working for them now. Any kind of case you might have, they've got an expert there to handle it. So if you think you have a potential personal injury lawsuit, Brown & Krupin is there, the local law firm here to serve you. They'll give you a free evaluation. You think you might have a case, you're not sure, you call them at 314-222-2222. They'll give you a free evaluation. If they take the case, they'll work on a contingency basis, no upfront cost to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. They've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients, so they have been highly successful in all forms of personal injury lawsuits. If you think you may need their services, call them 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandkrupin.com. Make sure you let them know you heard about it here on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
If you want to have a beautiful smile, then perhaps you need to go to 100 West Dental. Maybe you've been curious about Invisalign. Well, right now, 100 West Dental has a deal for our listeners. Mention my name, and you get $1,000 off an Invisalign package. If you're on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it will look like before you even go through with it. It's 100westdental.com. Or you can call 636-585-0100. I love the fact that no phone call is needed to get in. You just check the calendar online for availability at 100westdental.com, and you can book right then and there. They have built brand new offices with the most modern of technology, with the patient experience at the front of the mind, and it's one of the very few dental offices that offer virtual consultations with the doctor. Even if you don't have dental insurance, it's no problem. The membership plan aids in the costs of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. It's 100 West Dental, 100westdental.com. Mention my name. Get $1,000 off an Invisalign package at 100 West Dental. Text into the program. Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. Call in on Fridays. The Collier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA, and email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Jamie looks like a guy who'd go to Gatlinburg. Might be the meanest thing ever uttered on this garbage show. Doug, that's from Brian Henshin.
30% crestfallen at this point.
You don't even know Jamie.
Okay.
Jamie just seems like a guy that would like to go up and relax up in the Smoky Mountains and enjoy his family, enjoy relaxing.
What does a
So just
person?
shut up. You know nothing about Jamie.
What does a person have to look like before he looks like someone who would like to go to the smoky mountains?
I'm not going to get into it.
No,
My God.
no, 40%, Chris.
Yep, we might get there by 8. Since we're being sticklers about the USGA rules for this thing, do they also state that you can dangerously fire into a group in front of you playing slow, even if it's a jam-packed scramble where the patrons are more focused on boozing and tipping the cocktail waitress they have zero shot with? Or what does this handbook say about going off-roading on fairways up to greens when it's carts on paths only? Asking for a producer on your show. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Well, that has nothing to do with USGA rules.
I followed rules. I want people to know that.
That's just, if they want to kick me off the course, that's up to the course. It has nothing to do with USGA rules. So, love you, Spicy Wiener, but it's kind of a stupid question.
Oh, gosh.
That little cute curly reverse C of hair on Jackson's forehead is out again today, and it's got me absolutely rock hard.
Oh,
That's from the JV golf coach. You're making him hard.
That's kind of the goal daily.
Right.
Is like we don't want to get anybody off, but we just want to we want to take them to the brink.
We do.
That would be ideal,
Yeah.
I think. And then balloon party is the finishing move.
But this new C
It
curl,
is.
this new C curl is really a new look for you.
You like it?
And it seems to be going over well with townspeople.
I don't try to do
people.
I don't try to do anything with my hair.
Yeah.
I just kind of wet it and let it do its thing. Because it's thin.
Mm-hmm.
Little whisper could
I like that.
knock it over.
Yeah. But getting thicker, thanks
That's
to
right.
those hair restoration.
Yeah, like that's the thing is it's staying pat. Like if I have this hair for the next 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be great there.
Be cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
No problem there.
I don't want the Tom Thibodeau. I don't know if you've ever seen the coach of the
No.
Knicks. Oh, he's got
What's
it
he got?
bad.
What's he got?
Jackson's weaving in the Knicks Sixers series. It's happening.
I wasn't playing. Tom Thibodeau, look him up. He needs to just shave it off.
Can you just describe it maybe to save me the looking up process?
He's got the horseshoe going.
Yeah.
But he keeps, instead of like shaving the top bald, he keeps the maybe 32 strands of hair up there.
Yeah.
And it's just in the middle, like right on top of his head. The back,
Yeah.
the crown region is bare as a baby's bottom.
Is it really?
It's tough, yeah. I feel bad for him, but boy, can he coach a ball club.
When you start to look around at guys in my age group, there's really not a whole lot that have a big, thick, full head of hair.
Yeah.
There's not many.
Yeah.
And yet there you are.
With some help.
Who cares? They don't ask how, they ask how many.
It's my credo.
Yeah. I guess so. It's kind of cruel what Mother Nature has done to us. And you wonder why.
Yeah, what happened?
What was the evolutionary purpose behind losing the top of your hair?
Good question. It's a real good question.
Evolution specialists call in 636-9004-TMA, or you can text in Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty, text inbox. For some reason, it makes my skin crawl when Iggy says he or someone is, quote, relaxing. It's like an ASMR reaction to things I hate. That's from Dave with the cauliflower ear.
He hates when I talk about relaxing?
That's what I read in the prompter.
Wow. Okay. That is an awful thing to be doing, is relaxing.
Well, we can't relax now. We got a busy radio show ahead of us, fellows.
I brought in a picture of Anna Cardente today. She looks like she's relaxing right on the bed.
What's she doing? That's an old Polaroid. Why would you bring that picture in?
I told Tim I'd bring in some Polaroids from some porn stars featuring. We were talking about it yesterday.
She's a porn star?
No. But I found this one, too, a Polaroid, and I just thought I'd bring it in and show you guys, and I'll show the listeners.
And HR said, you checked, and they said, yeah, please do bring in
Anna Cardente.
Well, nobody's going to see him.
Pro-boob, as you know.
Nobody's going to see him. Now, Anna Cardente, I'll show you. The listeners hear me talk about Anna Cardente. They've never seen
you're
her.
going to go on the YouTube? This is bad idea, Jeans.
I hope they do post it, because maybe I'll find her.
Oh.
I can't find her anywhere. So here you go. Here's Anna Cardente.
Doug, here we have missing persons on youtube.com/TMASTL. And if you're not in the YouTube viewing room right now, this is a big opportunity.
I'm giving him time to screenshot it.
Is this like a 70-year-old picture? That goes back to the 1960s?
Late 80s.
Late 80s.
I guess. It was in New Jersey. When I would go see her, I'd fly into New Jersey, stay at the Radisson, and then we'd take the subway into New York.
You were a real jet setter.
Yeah,
There
from
in the
Bermuda to New Jersey Airport, that was really jet setting.
Mm-hmm. You had a gal in every port, didn't you?
Quite a few ports. Yeah. But that's when I actually flew to go see her. The other ones were just go home and don't bother me.
And quite frankly, you had Suave.
No, I brought in the menu for you to see, too. The menu that got me laid many times.
How could a menu get you laid?
Well, some of the dishes in there that I prepared tableside, and that's what got them.
You can't be serious. You simply prepare a dish, and they immediately say, let's go to bed.
Not immediately.
I see one of the offerings here is Pheasant Elizabeth. Exactly. What did you
Somebody's
do?
Somebody's going to be that in the text inbox within a matter of moments.
To prepare the Pheasant Elizabeth.
I think that was prepared by the chef. I didn't cook everything on the menu. Shrimp de Jong I cooked, the fettuccine appetizer I cooked, the rack of lamb I carved, Chateaubriand I carved, 3 desserts I made, tableside.
And women couldn't resist you after that?
I mean, I don't know how many times I have to explain it. It's not like they said. It's not like they said, "Oh, I love the way you prepared it. Let's go out."
What'd they say?
The parents would just kind of gravitate to me because I would talk during all these things, making them, and they would just say things like, I hope this isn't too forward, but our daughter's really just bored hanging out with the family, and is there a place you guys go after work? She can kind of hang out with you guys, and that's when they would come with us, and that's
Is it
all,
possible
all she wrote.
that happened one time?
No, many times, Doug.
Many times, Doug.
Or there were times that I would just make the move myself.
Would you? Right there when you're carving up the Chateaubriand?
Get done, she would maybe leave to go to the bathroom or something, and I'd talk to her, and I'd say, do you have to hang out with your parents tonight 'cause we're all going out? She goes, yeah, I'd love to.
You were one smooth dog.
It was just clean. Nobody'd really done any dirty business really in it, and
wasn't that?
So it didn't smell bad. I guess they'd pumped it, and the day before is a few inches of the fluid, the blue fluid, and I just put my feet in,
phone's ringing,
and my knees, and then I had a tent cover with me. I had just no shoes on or anything, and no shirt really. No. I think I had a small shirt that I stashed in there somewhere.
Sure.
Stashed.
And then I just kind of put the tent cover around my knees, and then because I kind of like pushed my legs forward, and then I kind of just like it was closed, the porta potty was closed, and I was in there, and then I opened the latch real quick and then just kind of ducked in there, and I was actually inside it.
Yeah.
A little bit of room to move around. And I guess the first time nobody came for a while.
No.
I was in one of the wrong ones, and then I just switched over to a busy one.
Good.
And then, I don't know, just some chick came in.
Hot.
And,
Doug's not talking. Where did Doug come from?
I was listening and fascinated by his speech.
That is the infamous porta potty gentleman who many believe calls into this show regularly.
You think that could possibly have been true?
100% true.
You think?
I mean, there was no crack in there on that as he told the story. That's for sure. And what about the savvy move of realizing that he wasn't in one of the busier porta potties, and then switched to hide so he could have women empty their bowels on him?
But just the process of switching, he would have had to climb out with blue fluid all over him.
Not to mention the waste.
Walk over to another one, get inside, get back into the toilet proper.
Well, he stashed a small shirt with him.
Oh. And you guys don't want to kink shame.
That's correct.
Well, it's a made-up
It's
story.
just the way that I was raised.
It was made up, but it was funny.
You don't believe it's true?
No, just like the guy who goes to the city council meetings. My boy Chad. Those are all made up.
Doug, great news. Angry Anthony Pagano has decided to call in. I respect that.
Okay.
He's on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. He was mad at Iggy for not holding Marshall Tucker or somebody.
Marshall Kent.
Marshall Kent.
Good morning, Angry Anthony.
What's up, boys?
Why so angry?
Not really that angry.
Okay.
I just want to tell you, Doug, I love you, but if we're going to talk bowling on this show and golf constantly, I respect the golf, but if Biggie's going to talk bowling constantly, he should know some of the players, people that have won, but he doesn't know any of them.
I think I just told you who won last weekend, didn't I?
Well, I think I told you who won last.
No, you said Marshall Kent. You said nothing about E.J. Tackett.
the PBA champion for 2024?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said.
What did you say? I couldn't understand what you said. I'm glad you called in. Maybe you can decipher what you said, because none of us can make it out.
Well, it was a pretty clear text, but I'm just saying, if this is a bowling show, is that what we're going to do now without the blowout?
Why'd you text in a bowling question then? If you're tired of the bowling question, you texted in a bowling question.
It was a pretty succinct bowling question, but if this is what we're going to do, now it's going to be a bowling show. Let's just have that as it is.
How often do we talk bowling on the show?
Not enough.
I mean, seriously.
I'm telling you, Doug, thank you, Doug. Doug Vaughn is the idol of my life.
He just said not enough, so he wants more bowling talk. Who won the world championship last week?
E.J. Tockett.
No, who won?
Marshall Kent.
I just told you.
No,
now you're trying to turn it around. No, get your game.
No, tell me. Tell me who won. I told you who won. You tell me who won.
I'm not playing this game with you.
You don't know who won, did you?
Oh, gosh.
Do you know who won? Tell me who won.
I've said it twice who won.
Who won?
E.J. Tockett.
Tell me who won.
E.J. Tockett.
And Doug just told you.
That was not who won. It was Marshall.
E.J. Tackett beat Marshall Kent, I believe.
I thought he beat Matt Russo.
No, I think Russo was week before. I told you I don't. I told you I don't
Anyway,
watch.
I love the show.
I told you I don't watch bowling. Get rid of this guy.
Is,
He's such an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. But I love the show. I love that KG and O-Town is on the board. Jackson, you're an amazing man. You got a big future ahead of you.
He's not on the board, by the way.
Tim, you look just sexy as hell. And Doug, I'm going to wait for the invitation for you to invite me over for dinner with you and your family.
Oh, okay.
You'll be waiting for that.
Get right on that.
$6 is a fried chicken. He'll be over.
You're such a douche.
Oh,
You're
Doug.
the worst.
Can you dump him, please? This people.
Jackson just dismissed Angry Anthony.
I gave him.
Gave him enough rope.
We're like 35% crestfallen.
No, I'm not crestfallen at all by this guy. There's no life.
Well, you don't know that.
Make it stop! This is like listening to a Lime, Abbott, and Costello. Doug, that's Arbor Day, and he won the Milagro Tequila Texture of the Year in 2023.
Absolutely did, yeah. He sure did. Yeah.
Guys, this is the porta potty guy. He's always calling in.
Every caller is the same one.
You say Gabe is the
Just for the hell of it, Tim, I will show you a 20.
Here we go, Doug. This is a picture of Anna Cardente.
No,
This is just for the hell of it.
No, the past PBA championship champions. Can you read who won in 2024?
E.J. Tackett.
E.J. Tackett.
Yeah.
Well, you showed him.
Well, he just said, you're wrong, it's Marshall Kent. So you talk to me, I don't know anything about bowling. I didn't even watch the tournament.
How about this?
And I told you who won.
Augusta, James, and Anus wrote worst caller in the 20 years of the show. And then back-to-back texts, best caller ever from the 573. And then Snagglepuss says, best caller yet. And then from the 314, I'd like to thank this guy for calling in this morning. I was feeling a little down on myself, and I feel much better now. So, Doug, you get a wide delta on reactions.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like him to text back in. Don't call back in. You're never allowed to call again.
He's never allowed. He's been banned like Daddy Padre?
Well, you just come on here and just want to trash me.
Does he call in a lot?
That's the first time he's ever called, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't remember.
But I want you to text in and admit that you were wrong. Because we just looked it up to make sure.
Text in because he's not allowed to call.
And it's E.J. Tackett won. I told you who won. You said you're wrong. It's Marshall Kent. So you talk about I don't know anything about bowling. I need to stop talking about it. You didn't know who won. I did, and I didn't even watch the tournament. And KG was right. He beat Matt Russo, who is from St. Louis.
I know bowling.
Again, I didn't watch the tournament.
No, why didn't you watch it?
But I don't care about bowling anymore.
No.
Let that be a reminder to those who don't like my calls that that's what a typical call into this show sounds like. That's from Mr. Licks. He feels like that helped his stock.
Yeah, Mr. Licks is a great caller compared to this guy.
Guys, what was that guy's handle on the TMA Reddit page? Anyone have a nice evening of edging planned with their significant other? That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack. Iggy, do people plan edging evenings?
I don't think married people do that. I think
Yes.
from now on, married people just want to get it over with.
It seems like a solo mission.
You're both wrong. That's from the Loomster. I'm pretty sure that call was Tucker. That's from Flip Wilson.
Could have been. No, Tucker's got a very distinct, kind of a sexy voice. This guy just sounded like he just got to eat ham sandwiches.
Ham sandwiches. Mama Cass?
Hey, you're a douche.
That was a voice we hadn't heard from you before.
Well, it sounds like him a little bit.
All right.
Doug, it's a tough way to start what should be a magical weekend in St. Louis with the White Sox in town. The Doggies have Houston. The Battlehawks have Houston. It's going to be fun. You know, the 2005 World Series was Houston and Chicago, and now Houston and Chicago are focused on St. Louis.
That is a remarkable set of coincidences there. Could there be a less appealing opponent to come to St. Louis than the Chicago White Sox?
I think historically we might see one of the worst teams in the history of the game. So from that standpoint, you'd like to think you're going to get at least 2 or 3. If they don't win this series, oh boy.
How much better are the Cardinals?
I mean, the White Sox are, at the moment, historically bad. Somehow they swept, I think it was the Twins last weekend. And then they've gone on, is that who it was?
I think so.
And then they've gone on to lose everything since. But without that sweep, they have 3 wins. And today is May 3rd. But, you know, this club could be turning around
If
soon.
they can get hot, they could win that baby.
Season doesn't start till Flag Day.
It's my credo.
Did they win the division?
swept the Rays.
LaRussa's left first year.
Doug?
I'd have to look it up.
I thought they were pretty good with
I think they
LaRussa
were
there.
competitive, yeah.
They kind of fell off. Right? The Yermin Mercedes thing was weird. Do you remember that? He hit a grand slam, and Tony kind of dragged him in the post game.
Yeah, he's supposed to take the pitch.
Yeah, they were up a big.
Married people edge for 4 to 6 weeks, and by that I mean husbands, and by that I mean me, and not by choice. That's from Scuba Steve. Okay, so this is common.
Well, for a husband, if the wife's not involved. I'm sure the wife's not going to do that and say, please stop.
Every day you guys all get sucked into the Strode vortex. He talks about himself and interrupts, causing everyone to then talk about him even more. And you guys can't escape it. That's from Arbor Day.
That one stung a little bit, too, didn't it?
I don't know how to answer these questions. I mean, it wasn't even a question, actually. It was just a comment, so there's really nothing to say.
Tim Jackson, on Balloon Party, can you answer this question? Has anyone asked Mo recently where the hell Yadier Molina is? Or is the media not holding him accountable? Doug, that's Steve P. from Pattonville.
I think the media's kind of lost interest already. I don't think we'll see him all year.
But overall, I feel pretty good about where the club is. Obviously,
I don't.
Well, Mo didn't hire him, did he? Didn't DeWitt's bring him in?
Doug?
Well, I would think
The
it'd be
unified
kind of
front.
a group effort there. Probably talked about that. I don't think one would have said you're in if the other hadn't said, yeah, that's a good idea, let's do it.
My wife doesn't like me. That's from the Total Package.
That's nice. This is a nice little drive-by text.
Yeah, that's all it was.
This is probably the only place where he felt comfortable sharing that information.
Yeah, if we can be that for the listeners, isn't that great?
Yeah.
I feel like I've,
Text in if your spouse doesn't care for you much.
Yeah, we'll workshop that with you.
yeah, call in too.
Well, 636-9004-TMA. Or you can text in. Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Or maybe a long email for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Design Air is online at designairservice.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And if you need to get your air conditioning tuned up for the warm weather months, that's perfect. Go to designairservice.com. When the temperatures today, Doug, won't go any higher than the 70s. You know, cloudy conditions. Boy, lots of precipitation in the metropolitan area last night. Storms galore.
Well, my grass looks great.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. That's for sure.
Green Envy. Thank you.
Yeah, Green Envy doing work. But we will have a high at 87 on Tuesday, so it's going to get hot. It's going to get 82 tomorrow, 76, but no precipitation this weekend. Saturated grounds, though, so your ball should stop right when you fire at the pins.
Cart path only.
And probably CPO.
Yeah.
Probably CPO because of it. I don't know how that'll affect our matches on Monday. Did you sleep last night?
I did. Yeah, I don't worry too much about that. Or anything, really.
So when did you watch Dogtown Ty's film?
I haven't yet.
Yikes.
No. I concentrate on my game, Timmy. He'll do what he does. I'll do what I do.
Are you even going to watch his shots so as to not let him get in your head? I mean, he's going to probably be wearing his Navy sport coat from the 2023 victory.
He'll warm up in it.
He very well may, yeah. Well, most everyone I play with is better than me anyway, so this won't be much different.
But how are you going to sleep? Aren't you going to toss and turn on Sunday night?
That?
I won't even think about it.
That CPAP
I'll wake
goes
up
on
thinking,
and you just go right to bed?
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
You're going to be upset that you're getting so many pops, you'll give some back?
I'm not upset by it. I just can't take a whole lot of pride in it. There's a difference there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm just not proud of it either.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I think you get where he's coming from too, Iggy, right? Like, he could win by shooting, 85 would probably be good. Or 83, I still think is outstanding, especially those conditions. And then he shoots like, I don't know, I guess reasonable for him would be like a 77. But with the pops, you would win. Now, you wouldn't go, yeah, I beat him, but you acknowledge with the pops, that's how the tournament works.
Yeah, there's a difference between beating somebody and advancing to the next round.
Nice, Jackson.
Right,
nice,
that's it.
Jackson.
Boy, he just summed it up nicely there. Way to go, Berkey.
Speaking of significant others, anyone have a nice evening of edging planned with
another same text came in again?
7:39 he sent in, 7:46 he sent it. Scott's wrinkled ball said.
Must have went to the bathroom, didn't hear you read it.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Or maybe he's already edging.
There's that thing in Entourage where Vince is dating the kind of sex addict, and she does the thing where they sit naked in front of each other for like 2 hours and then have sex, and apparently it's red hot.
Oh, is that right?
So that might be like mutual edging.
Hot.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like foreplay.
Right.
What kind of shows you watching, bro?
That's Entourage.
Do you ever watch Entourage with Adrian? Do you say Grenier?
I haven't seen it, no.
Is it Grenier? Jackson's very critical of his acting abilities.
Oh, he's no good.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
Oh, you thought so too.
And he hasn't done much since. So.
I think he's kind of withdrawn from Hollywood, but I don't know if Hollywood withdrew from him.
How do you get the gig?
They actually talk about it. They did a podcast, the guy who started it. It's hard to find somebody who looks like they're a movie star, because Vince, the character, is a movie star, that isn't already a movie star. You know, if you look like a movie star, you would be in the movies. So you have to find a guy who looks like he should be a movie star, but is a TV actor. And he kind of fit the bill.
But as a TV actor, he is an actor. He's just not a movie star.
He's not a movie star, but he has to look like a movie star, like an A-list movie star. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. I don't know that I believe it, but I know what you're saying.
Okay.
You think there's not a lot of attractive people running around Hollywood that aren't movie stars?
But there's some about the movies. They talk about in the show, the big head. Vincent Chase, big head.
I got a big head. I'm no movie star.
You could have been.
I agree with Jackson again.
What about Lithgow?
Lithgow worked for him, I guess.
He took your spot.
Yeah.
Bruce Bochy has the biggest head of all. He's no movie star.
What, has he got 4 world championships?
Yeah. He's got like a size 10 or something.
That's huge.
It's like a grizzly bear head.
Matt Rocchio's got a big head.
Oh, gosh, does he ever.
And he plays some instrument, right?
He plays the tuba, yeah. You would need a big head and big lungs to play the tuba.
I have a night of edging planned with the Crestwood Coyote. Papa, Doug, want to join? That's from Eric in the Central West End. Isn't the Crestwood Coyote his brother?
He is, yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah. Played Indian ball with his dad for years. Right there on Sappington and Crestwood.
So a night of incest. Lovely.
Clip that off.
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
So we just had a crime perpetrated in the text inbox? Well, you can commit your crimes at 314-881-TMA5. Doug, we have a sex party scheduled for tonight. That's from the Swing Haven board member. I think that was an offer to join. That's how I took it.
Well, I am so busy this evening.
Are you going to work on your chipping?
I want to rotate the tires on the car if I can get around to that.
Some paint's drying somewhere.
But you could be with Mrs. Swing Haven board member tonight.
Well, but these tires, the warranty is no good if you don't rotate them.
If you go, you'll be with him, unless you bring girls. There'll be no girls there.
You think Swing Haven board member wants to be with Doug?
Well, that's what, like, he's not bringing any girls.
Yeah.
He's not married, so a single guy isn't getting couples over to his house.
It's been a while since...
Tell us about how you had sex with your aunt.
Oh, It's been a while since I checked out the insulation levels in the attic, too.
So you got to do that?
I
But then
should get
after
around
that,
to it.
then go to the Swing
So
Haven
it's
board
not
member
going to do
sex party.
itself. I think you're supposed to have at least 6 inches of insulation up there.
Iggy, if you got the invite, would you go?
No, he already invited me one time, and I didn't
a sex
show-
party?
No, he invited me to the patio at Kirkwood Brewhouse and
Yeah.
never showed up.
Gosh, you got catfished?
I didn't get catfished.
Well, it sounds like it.
I've already said he doesn't have a wife, so
But you went there thinking
I
there
was
was
going there
to be
anyway.
one.
I was going there anyway. There were people there I knew, so it's no big deal.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, there's always people at Kirkwood Brewhouse.
Is that right?
It's like
If that's
two
the case,
restaurants
it'd
only.
probably still be in
for,
business.
for a period of time, and then they stopped going.
It was hot there for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well,
wait 40 minutes for a table.
It got COVIDed.
I think TMA kept it alive for many years.
Yeah, sure. The head on Doug's shoulders isn't the only big head he has. That's from Jackson's lone wispy pube.
Think about that.
Well,
Take it or leave it, you like Max's brown eye better than his blue eye.
Oh, character. Oh.
I was edging to Iggy, arguing with angry Anthony.
My God.
Well, the people, they have their
Yeah, I'm not going to kink shame it.
kinks. I mean, I guess we just have to
I
support
could
it.
edge hearing that guy's voice.
Who are we talking about? Angry Anthony?
Yeah. Called me a douche.
He is back. He just texted, and it's officially a bowling show.
I mean, you are just a dumb.
Easy now.
Might be a
God, I almost hit a dumb
You think he's a
myself.
fake?
Easy.
You think this guy might be a character? Are you in the text history? That's usually one of
I
my.
think he might be. I'd just say someone to kind of point the White House spotlight towards. Just say, all right, let's get this guy to shore.
Does he
Let's
have any
get this guy
history?
to shore.
Does he have a text history on the show?
Uh-huh.
What are some of the other ones?
Is this the Iggy Shillash show or Plowhawks? Jesus, the jealousy is rampant. Steve is the worst. The worst. This is the worst radio in the history of Marvin.
History of Marvin.
Why are you still listening?
No one can call Pale. You don't give out the number. Give the number. It's important. Where is the number, Pale?
636-900-4-TMA. Or if you want to text in, 314-881-TMA5.
Say that a little slower so they can write it down.
If you want to text in, 314-881 TMA5.
TMA5.
Yeah, call in. Be a friend of the feather. Talk about your edging sessions. Does your wife hate you? And bowling. Those are our topics this morning. Tim received a phone call and missed the first read about the edging evening. My apologies. You can now use my wife. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack.
I guess that was a lemming play. He's offering his wife.
Yeah, I mean, he has quite often.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be particularly interested in me. She's more interested in my wife. So I guess I would wind up sleeping with Scott.
Oh. No.
Wouldn't you hope to stagger those sessions, though, so that there could be some viewership?
That's all I really ever want.
Right.
That's all I ever want. KG No Time just wrote strategic. What does that mean?
I think he also sent in
Yeah, a picture of
Marmol.
Marmol's beard. I didn't see that
Look at that
initially.
tight line.
Iggy, I never invited you. I just said we were going up there for dinner. It's from the Swing Haven board member, so he disputes the story.
Whatever.
41%.
Said we're going to Kirkwood Brewhouse. You want to come for a drink?
That would be an invite. If those words were spoken, I would call that an invite.
Well, you didn't go anyway. You said you were going for dinner. Well, you didn't go for dinner either. So you didn't show up either way.
How long did you sit there waiting for?
I had other people up there, so I had a couple of drinks. I didn't care if he showed up or not.
Okay.
I didn't think he would. He said me and my wife will be there. Well, he has no wife, so.
I was afraid you might be disappointed that they didn't show up.
Yeah, I was crestfallen that night. I was 90% crestfallen because they didn't show up.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Don't be afraid of James Carlton. Be afraid of not being with James Carlton. 314-961-4800 to go online at carltoninsurance.net. 367 5-star reviews for my insurance agent, who I've been with now for 5+ years. Iggy is also now a client.
Very happy.
The Plow
Save me money.
is a client. Great customer service. Has your insurance gone up in the last year? Give James a chance to save you money. Have kids under 25. on your insurance policy. This is where James saves people the most money. It's James Carlton, the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, and he's online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call 314-961-4800. It's James Carlton. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. Jackson, let's say I want to take the Cardinals to sweep the White Sox. Where do I go place that wager?
Circa, Tim. You go to Circa. Yeah, if you're in here in St. Louis, Missouri, like we are, you make a short drive across the river, or if you already live in Illinois, download the Circa Sports app today, and you can start wagering, including like the Cardinal game tonight. Sonny Gray on the bump.
Bump.
Cardinals are minus 255. Tonight's ball game against the White Sox, plus 228 for the White Sox. The Cardinals have yet to sweep a series, and these odds are probably going to be pretty similar throughout the weekend, maybe a little dropping because Sonny Gray won't be on the mound Saturday and Sunday, but the Sox are probably destined to win one of these games, so maybe you find a little value. I'm not saying bet against the home team. I'm just saying they've yet to sweep a series, and if they win 2 out of 3 the first two, Sunday might be the day to bet the Sox. Either way, the over-under for tonight's game is 7.5. And then if you're talking NHL playoffs, Nucks and Preds, Doug.
You like that term, Nucks?
I don't like it. I don't know who that is.
Vancouver is
Nucky
plus...
Thompson.
Nucky Thompson. That was Steve Buscemi.
Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Great show.
Buscemi. Vancouver plus 112, Predators minus 122, Stars versus VGK, even. Stars and VGK both minus 105 in tonight's tilt. Also Clippers and Mavericks. Clip show plus 280, Mavericks minus 340 to finish them off. And if you want Denver, the Nuggets to win the West, Doug, plus 105 for Denver to win the West. That's all available on the Circa Sports app. Download it today. If you or someone you know might have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
I don't know what this one means. Other people being there that you hung out with is a completely different story than when previously discussed on TMA all day. Another lie. So Maxwell Hung. I don't know what that's in reference to.
He's talking about Iggy waiting for the Swing Haven board member to show up.
It was, 6 years ago?
I don't know the years, Iggy.
Oh, now we got Mary Jo from Missouri. This is another text about this. Boy, the listeners, Doug, they study the show.
They don't forget.
2 segments that happened to play on the Skeleton yesterday. First segment, Iggy is explaining that he was supposed to meet with the Swing Haven board member at Kirkwood Brewhouse for cocktails. He said they didn't show up, but that luckily there were some listeners at the Kirkwood Brewhouse, so he hung out with them. Very next segment, Iggy explains the same situation and starts by saying that they didn't show up, then changes his story to say that they canceled beforehand, so he stayed at home. Listening and learning, love the show. That's Mary Jo.
That never happened.
Hello, Mary Jo.
That never happened. I don't know why I would ever say that, because they don't have my number. They wouldn't have canceled and said, hey, we're not going to be there. And I went home.
Yeah. So Mary Jo is making that up.
I don't know.
Well, if it's not true and she said it played on the show with your words, then that would be...
Yeah, so I don't know what the context was. I don't know if he was talking about something else.
I wonder if Buck Swope knows.
Okay. Yeah, go find his Swope. Good.
Okay.
Let Mary Jo do it.
Why don't you schedule another
Who put that in this?
dinner
Who put that
get-together?
in the skeleton?
Jackson, why'd you put that in the skeleton?
I don't know. What do you've got?
Oh, you're wearing your Sleepless in Seattle thing.
That's right.
He wore that at the Cosmopolitan, the Chandelier Bar.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it's a cool shirt. Why is it in the skeleton? Because we play 24 hours of programming.
Well, I know that. I'm just curious how we got to the patio thing back to back.
Well, they're all Wisconsin players.
Yeah, they are.
You said it, and I remember it. That's Harrison's brother, Matt.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I apologize.
Set up another dinner date with this couple, and let's get this straightened out. How about that?
Swing Haven board member is getting frustrated. Iggy, we're doing this again. She's not real thing. I've sent in a number of pictures of us together. That's from the Swing Haven board member. I'm all in on them being real.
Ah, I see a picture right here up in their text history from the 26th of April.
Okay.
Seems like a couple.
Doug, here they are. And that's the gentleman who was in studio with us, 4 years ago or something, 5 years ago.
Yeah, it seems like a authentic.
Yeah, that's a recent picture.
So you think they might be separated?
Could be the one he sent in many, many times.
Are you jealous of him because he has such a beautiful wife?
Yeah, I've always been looking for a wife.
And Andy gets to sleep with other women, huh? And she sleeps with other women, huh? I mean, it sounds like Doug, the Swing Haven board member, might be winning.
I think maybe he is. Well, we all have stories.
I love you, Iggy. That's from Maxwell Hung. How about that?
There we go.
Nice, buddy.
That's a nice pat on the rump.
It is 8 o'clock. We'll close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour here on TMA. Send your text in. That's from, or you can, Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Call in like Angry Anthony did, 636-9004 TMA, and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. This program is called TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown and Krupin, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown and Krupin, justice is our business.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experienced the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Rosalita's Cantina is known for having the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From carne con cerveza to shrimp diablo, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita. Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and brunch at the DePere location on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 3. Check out RosalitasCantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hi, this is Eric Conley, founder of Illinois Recovery Center. After getting clean myself, it was my dream to open Illinois Recovery Center to help give quality care to those on the journey of recovery. Every journey begins with a single step, and every step forward is a victory. If you or someone you know is seeking support, our doors are open at Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea, and I invite you to join our community. Call 888-510-3133 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today.
Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at TMASTL.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Are you ready to come back, come back?
Now.
It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After
on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Oh, damn. Doug, I didn't know it, but we're playing the Jam this morning?
Oh, I didn't know it either.
Well, we're playing this in our clubhouse on Monday before we take the golf course. This is our team's theme. Trouble T. Roy.
Oh.
Damn, where'd you come up with this? This is 6 years. This predates your birth by 6 years, and it's not necessarily a mainstream classic.
If you played
classic, it's not mainstream classic.
The following 2 video games, you heard this a lot. NBA Street Volume 2, which is one of my favorite video games.
Doug, do you ever play NBA Street Volume?
No,
2?
never.
Dr. J was on the cover, and then also
Julius? Tim?
Madden 12 with that was the famous Peyton Hillis year, where Peyton Hillis somehow scored his way onto the Madden cover. I know Andy is a big hip hop fan, so I thought I'd bring the heat with this.
If they had video games when I was a kid, I would have been so darn addicted to
them.
them.
Telling you, man.
I played every simple little board game there was back then, but they were so simple and elementary compared to what's out there today. I would have been just completely hooked, like so many other kids are today.
I grew up with like the GameCube and like simple consoles like that. I have a PS5 now. If I had that as a kid, ball game.
I know.
Game, set, match. Hi, Andy.
Hello, friends.
Hello,
Andy Krupin. I thought you were just hopping right in. And then I came in, and I turned to say hi, Andy, and it was hi, Iggy.
They want you on the camera.
Is that right, Iggy? Is that what the...
You were just keeping my seat warm.
That's right.
You leaving?
You like Iggy's
Is this banana for me?
No, that's...
Oh, okay. I thought that was Iggy's.
Deep-throating it over here. Hope you don't mind.
Not at all. I'd like to watch.
Oh, that's how it starts.
What's wrong with that? We don't kink shame.
My God, between that and Jackson's hair.
Yeah, how about that? You notice the Michael Jackson Thriller curly cue he's got going.
Oh, yes, I do.
Andy likes it.
I like Andy's hair.
Oh, yeah, I've let it go a little too long.
No, I think it looks good.
That is a nice head of hair, man.
You know,
I'm jealous as the day is long right now.
It does not go down ever. it just continues to go up.
Oh, is that
up.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a fro?
Oh, yeah. I'll show you a picture. I mean, it really...
Everybody's brought pictures today.
It's 'cause you got
for
thick,
radio.
You've got thick follicles.
I got to get these out here.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Wow. That's why it would go up. I have such thin little wispy follicles that my hair always falls down.
But you make it work.
Well, I don't know how well it's working.
You've got like that movie star hair.
Well, thank you, St. Louis Hair Restoration.
See?
God almighty.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes big. Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, I was about to say.
You look like Wes Unseld.
I don't know who that is.
Bullets coach.
NBA star. Yeah.
If you pull up 2 pictures, one you look like Smash in that picture, or the drummer for the old Grand Funk Railroad.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. So I don't know what happened.
Don Brewer, you look like Don Brewer.
I normally I've always cut my own hair, and what'll normally happen is it'll get to a certain length. I'll be oh my God, I cannot take it for one more minute, and I'll go to the bathroom, and 5 minutes later my hair's cut, and I've resisted the temptation, and I don't even know why this time. And then it just sort of became a joke, and now I'm just seeing what happens.
Is that right?
We'll see what happens.
It's a sharp look. I think it's a sharp look.
Oh, gosh.
It's not if I don't put something in it. It looks pretty...
what do you put in there? Jackson just uses water.
It's true.
Really? Well, he's got that young hair. Mine,
hair.
I look, if I don't do something with it, I look unhoused.
Here's Don Brewer.
Unhoused.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm going for, except a little grayer.
Did your dad ever give you a hard time about having long hair?
No, actually. He gives me a hard time about having short hair.
Is that right?
He's thrilled. Yes. He is so happy, and I think it looks terrible. I have a neighbor down the street. Every time I run to him, he's like, dude, what are you doing? It's never going to look good. It looks horrible. You're a good-looking guy. You look unhoused.
Unhoused. I like that a lot.
Unhoused.
Unhoused. I like that quite a bit.
It's a nicer way of saying homeless.
Well, I think that's what you're supposed to say now. I'm not sure.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm not. That's one of those things that I don't get, though. Like, is it really any better? I don't think there is a single person who is unhoused.
So many things with words over the last decade or so. I'm just kind of like, we have to dance by the law of the FCC that I just kind of think is dumb, but because it's the law, I respect it. You're a lawyer. You know the program.
Barely, but yeah.
Hey, Don Pepe is a very active texter, both on this program and Balloon Party, and he says, nice lettuce, Andy. So he's a fan
Thank
of that
you.
lid, too.
Oh, lettuce. He's listening to those Zinfluencers.
Zinfluencers? Jackson, you like Zinfluencers?
Is that generation, like Gen Z influencers?
No, it's people who zin.
Oh,
you know what zins are?
Nicotine patches.
That lettuce, he's ask him, is that, you follow freezer tarps, don't you?
Yeah. Chatty.
Yeah, there you go.
What is freezer tarps?
I watch a lot of TikTok.
He's always talking about zins and
Yeah, I know.
You know what zins are, Doug?
No.
It's a nicotine delivery system that's like, you remember Skull Bandits?
Yeah.
The little pouches, but it has nicotine, no tobacco, nicotine. I don't use them, but they have become very popular. I have a few theories on them. Number one, I think that kids are not vaping as much. They are using Zins because it's less detectable. So all these people think, oh, my kid's not vaping.
Right.
They're all zinning. My other theory, and this is a little more controversial, they seem to skew politically conservative. Like, for whatever reason, all these Zinfluencers online, it seems to be big with like Tucker Carlson and a very conservative set for some reason use Zins. I don't know what more liberal people are using for their nicotine.
Jackson, what are the liberals using for their nicotine?
Analog darts.
Analog darts.
There you go.
What in the world?
Well, if
cigarettes.
If vaping is electric, analog would be darts.
I was always confused why anyone would put a cigarette in their mouth for any reason.
Well, I did it, I only would do it socially, and I did it for a handful of years, but still, fortunately, I never got addicted. But I mean, the fact that I even did it, I look back on it, I go, what in the hell was I doing? I'm so just I don't know.
I think
surprised.
People probably originally do it to try to look cool, fit in with the high school crowd. Look at me, I'm older, I'm not 15, I'm really an old person, I can smoke. I think that's probably how it starts, peer pressure. But yeah, you just have to resist because you know it's wrong. You know it's horrible. There's nothing good about it. Nothing.
But when you're doing it, which is usually your teen years, you think you're invincible. Like when you start, and you don't. Then, like when you find out, like a friend passes in their 30s or 40s, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he smoked." You go, "What in the hell was I doing? Or am I still doing?" As the case might be.
Probably wasn't the stupidest thing you ever did, though.
I know it. I got way stupider. But I look back and I go, "What in the hell was I doing?"
I took a good fall skiing a few weeks ago, and I was with a friend.
Any injuries?
You know what? I thought I broke a rib. I just bruised it. Still hurts a little bit, but it was like on one of the last runs of the last day, and I was so mad at myself because I knew I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing, and I was so dumb. And my friend was like, "It's not even close to the stupidest thing you did today. It's just this is the one where you got hurt. Can't beat yourself up over it. You did plenty of stupider things."
You a pretty good skier?
Yeah, sure. I do it a lot. I've been doing it for many years. I enjoy it. I move around every year with one group of friends, and then with another group, we go to Telluride, Colorado every year.
Fun.
For the music festival?
Well, so I do actually go to the Bluegrass Festival every year as well, which is kind of the premier music festival. And I do not like bluegrass. I'm not a bluegrass fan, but in that setting, under those circumstances, it's spectacular. It's really great. And it's not all like traditional bluegrass.
Hey, I wanted to ask you because I don't think you've been in studio since you were quoted in the Wall Street Journal. We talked about it with your dad a couple weeks ago, and I think we may have talked about it a little bit with Ed, but we haven't had you in studio since that article came out.
A lot of people are trying to get to me after that.
I figured this was, you were in high demand.
Sure.
After the quote. Give the background on what you said, but also how it came to pass that they talked to you.
It was really strange.
This is, by the way, I apologize, Andy, for the audience who isn't familiar with it. An article in the Wall Street Journal, I think about 3 weeks ago, on the death spiral of downtown St. Louis. But it wasn't. The Wall Street Journal's not writing exclusively about St. Louis. It was a commentary that St. Louis could be one of the first of these Midwest Rust Belt cities that could be in a death spiral, and others could be coming. So that's the background. Wall Street Journal, WSJ.com.
Yeah, I don't know how they got to us. It was really strange. I got a woman who works with us said, "Hey, there's a reporter from the Wall Street Journal is calling and wants to know if you'll do an interview." I'm like, "Sure, they got the right number." So I'm like, "Sure," and so we set up a call and I spoke to him, and I didn't really know I didn't know the article was going to be about a death spiral. He was just posted as more, I'm doing an article about some of the problems being experienced in downtown St. Louis. And we talked for about an hour about sort of our experience down there and our business. And then about a month later, same woman I work with, "Oh, hey, he's coming to town and wants to come by the office and look around." And so he did, and we met and we showed him around the office and talked a little bit. And so at that point, I was like, well, I wonder if this is an article about downtown St. Louis. I was surprised he was taking so much time with us. And so I didn't think anything more of it. And this was probably several months ago. And then the article came out. And really, I've spent a lot of time downtown. I think if you don't work downtown, I think it's hard to really understand downtown. I think you have to be there and see it day in and day out, year after year, and also see it at night for games. And so I think people who have worked downtown have sort of a unique perspective on it. So I suppose that's why, and how he found me, I don't know. But one of the things that I had said that made it to the article was we worked in the Met Square building, and that part of downtown, there was a Panera down there. And at the time, the rumors were that they wanted to buy out 2 or 3 parking spaces for delivery. The city wouldn't let them, and they said, "Fine, we're gone." And the vacuum that created, I mean, it really changed the amount of foot. And it's sad that a Panera is the anchor of that whole part of downtown, but it really changed to downtown. And after the pandemic, that part of downtown, I think, really suffered further. And listen, there was always crime downtown during the day, pre-pandemic. I think it's certainly gotten worse at night. Whether or not it's gotten worse during the day is hard to say. I think it gets reported on a lot more. But it's sad. I think, I'm sure you've seen, everybody is up in arms about the Wall Street Journal article, and I was shocked.
Well, everybody locally, not everybody, but a good portion of people locally, yes.
People are very upset, but I think we have to accept, you got to look in the mirror. You got to say, okay, this is a problem, because for so long, I think there was a lot of denial about there being a problem downtown. Somebody would be murdered in broad daylight, and, that was just one. Another one. Well, that was because, I think we have to accept we have some issues that we have to work on and address and resolve. And I think they're complicated issues. But I think that until we as a city and as a region, I think certainly the county, you can't always, you can't use the city of St. Louis for sports and everything, and the zoo and everything that the city has to offer. But when it's time to address the issues, kind of act like, oh, that's their problem. And I think there's a lot of that. I think that because they're not one entity, people want to use the resources but not kind of give back in a meaningful way to help build it up to what it could be. It really, this could be, it is a great city, but it could be in the conversation for some of the great cities. It once was. And now it feels like, when you look at concerts that come to Missouri, or even things as stupid as the cities mentioned on the map on national weather forecasts, it was always St. Louis. Now those acts, Taylor Swift went to Kansas City. Sometimes you're seeing Kansas City has done what we need to do.
I'm curious, two things I want to make sure that I ask you. I'm sure you may have some questions or thoughts, Doug. Number one, have you received any angry emails or conversations?
No.
Because it's not like you were just saying, here's what our experience was, and you decided the Panera thing. And I used to live downtown, and I actually would occasionally, it wasn't too far from where we lived, would walk over there with my wife. And then secondarily, you were talking about the county and the city relationship. Would you be an advocate of St. Louis County absorbing St. Louis City, and similar to like Fulton County in Atlanta? Atlanta's a part of Fulton County. Kansas City's Jackson County, right? Am I right?
I think so.
And they just voted down the Chiefs and Royals initiative, public funding initiative. What do you have any mindset? And one of the key things also, I think, for you is you've lived in New York, LA, right? I
lived in San Francisco for a little while, yeah.
I think for a lot of people in St. Louis, and it isn't a criticism, I just think it's kind of, this is what it is, raised here and have kind of only know St. Louis with the exception of maybe a handful of trips, tourist trips to other cities, and oftentimes not necessarily a New York or California, to realize how far behind we've fallen.
Yeah.
And it's holy crap, eye-opening. And it drives me up the wall. I'm not really doing well with it. So I like the fact that the article held it to light. At the same time, what I would tell you from doing a show, and this show's 20 years old, but doing shows a few years before this one started, that when I would talk about stuff like this in the early 2000s, God, did I get hate.
Yeah.
And to an extent, it gets hate now. But it's like such a sliver, because I think people now are going, okay, we've got a problem. Now, the problem has been in an incubator for a while, but it's so obvious it would be
you can't
ignorant.
Ignore it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
I didn't get any hate this time, but about, 10 years ago, my partner Ed Herman, who has been on this show many times, he and I were walking down the street. Some guy says, hey, can we interview you? And sure, it was audio. And we do a fair amount of media. Didn't think anything of it. And days later, it was on KMOX, and we had been critical of some of the crime downtown St. Louis, and we got a lot of hate. The building manager in our building was like, "What are you guys doing?" He was upset, and I afterwards I get why people were upset, but it was at a time where there had been a lot of crime down there, and the upsetting thing about crime here in St. Louis is people kind of laugh it off. They kind of wear it like a badge of honor and think it's kind of funny, and it's not funny at all. I mean, this is real crime, and people are being murdered, and I think we need to take it seriously and understand that life is not cheap. Like when people are murdered, those are people who are no longer alive. Those are our fellow St. Louisans, and not just kind of laugh it off. Oh, that's St. Louis, blah, blah, blah. Do something about it, or at least accept that it is a reality and not be offended when somebody says it and discount it because, but the statistics are skewed. No, they really, are they to some extent? Sure. Do we have a major problem? Absolutely. In terms of the merger, I think it's a very complicated thing to do. I mean, to take these two major political entities and merge them, I am not nearly smart enough or qualified to figure out how that works. However, in a perfect world, I do think that if they were one, I think that would be better. I think there would be some economies of scale with, garbage collection and, and I think there's a little bit of a pettiness sometimes between the city and county. Like my kid's school is in an area where like the first 50 feet
is in the city?
Of the street is in the city, right? And then the rest is in the county. And so on a snowy day, you're driving them to school, the first part of the street, nothing is cleared, covered in snow. And then you see right when that Clayton line starts, and it's just like, come on, man, you're plowing that street. There is a grade school there. Just plow the extra. Like, I get it. It's not your job. It's not. And who knows? Maybe there are insurance reasons why they can't. But like, to me, things like that it are just representative of how many other things must there be like that are real issues where they're just like, nope, not plowing that street. I don't know. It just seems like it causes a lot of issues having the two separate. I mean, hasn't Clayton sort of become our downtown in some ways?
I think that's in a way an issue. I mean, it's a positive, but at the same time, it detracts for Clayton, but it detracts from the city. I don't want to just bogart the conversation. I'm sure you have thoughts, and I haven't.
I keep thinking about what's it going to take to turn it around, and the state in general financially is in pretty good shape, but it seems to me the cities that are really thriving around the country right now are in states with very favorable tax situations. Talking about Texas, Tennessee, Florida. These places are thriving like never before. They have no state income tax. I wonder if something like that could ever happen in Missouri to help turn it around. Because, right, if you're a huge corporation, why in the world are you going to headquarter in St. Louis and pay the taxes here? Why would you do that?
I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm here.
I mean, you guys are still in the city.
Yeah.
So you're still paying the 1%.
Yeah. Now, and also, I don't know financially how Texas or Florida is doing, places with no state income tax, but I know that they have cities that are failing, and as a state, they may be okay, just like Missouri as a state is okay. But I think they too have pockets where there's a lot of crime, and I don't know enough about it, but I don't know that state income tax is the problem, because I don't know that big corporations coming in is the answer. I don't know what the answer is. I think it's a generational problem, certainly. I think income inequality is certainly part of it, but that doesn't mean you just give everyone more money. I think it starts before that. I think it starts with the schools and building up communities and maybe incentives to have people able to build up businesses in their own communities. I don't know. I mean, but what I do know is that there are people who study these things who have helped other cities turn it around. I remember years ago when, you remember there was that SLU volleyball killer
yes, she
player,
was 2012.
Megan Boken.
Yes, that was one of my sister's close friends.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That was essentially on my front steps in the Central West End. And it was a beautiful day. It was on Saturday afternoon. We had a baby at the time, and we had been at Panera, ironically, eating lunch. And some woman had dropped like the rest of her bowl of soup, and so it spilled on the stroller. And so we were delayed by 5, 6, 7 minutes cleaning up the bowl. And we walked up to her house as the ambulance is like pulling away. Had she not spilled her soup, we would have probably been there like right then. And so that's when we moved out of the city. But I lost. I don't know why. I don't know why I brought that up.
Well, you had somebody
I lost
killed
my
on your
train
front
of thought.
steps. I mean, that's an impactful moment.
It is. Shoot, what was I? I had a point. I was going somewhere with it.
It does seem like it wasn't that long ago when people felt like, well, the downtown is safe. It's just certain areas where the gang guys are killing each other, and that's no real concern because we're not involved in that. Downtown is perfectly safe. Then they had the girl killed where you were. They had a guy murdered in Washington Avenue outside a bar. They had a guy shot at Metrolink next to Busch Stadium. They had a Cardinal fan shot in the back right next to Channel 4. And then it became reality that it's not just in North St. Louis. It's everywhere now.
Right. It's not compartmentalized.
And that perception has become reality now. And so there's a lot of people, a lot of them, who are just afraid to go downtown. They're not going.
Yeah, I know multiple people who during the day in the last couple of years have witnessed either a murder downtown, broad daylight, or came up right in the aftermath of it. It happens, and we're not protecting our crown jewels of the city, the Central West End, downtown. And I don't know, again, I don't know how you do it, but I know what it was. So after Megan Boken was killed, there were all these community meetings, and I remember going, and the police chief at the time was there, and I stood up, and because they were just talking about we're going to increase police presence for 30 days, and I was like, have you guys ever thought about doing anything different? Maybe because 30 days, what happens after 30 days? Go to a city who's had these problems and hire the consultants they hired. Learn from what they did. Let's do something different, not just increase police presence for 30 days and then forget it ever happened. And they were up in arms that I would even suggest that they do something different. I kind of got into with them a little bit because somebody killed on my front steps. You know, it's not a joke. And there just seems to be this unwillingness to, there at the time at least, it seemed like we were being led by people who didn't know what they didn't know and didn't care. You know, didn't want to take that extra step and say, you know what? Because, you know, people in general have a hard time admitting that they don't know something. And instead of just saying, you know what, I don't know how to fix this problem, but I know there's a problem, and I know there are people who can help. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to seek the experts who not just say they can help me, but have taken and helped other cities turn things around. And I'm going to have them come in and I'm going to have them help us. And why there's this unwillingness to ask for help and go to cities who have done things differently, I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. We could, you know, can we be the safest city in the country in 5 years? No, probably not. Can we get out of the top 5 most dangerous? That seems reasonably doable.
Well, if I were to ask you, I think you would answer this right. Well, what I think is right. The other city in the United States that over the last 2 decades or so had one of the worst reputations both for a decaying downtown and crime, you would have said what city?
Man, there are a few to choose from, but yeah. I think if I'm reading you, you're thinking Detroit.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
And Detroit has experienced a resurgence. We have one of our very active and loyal listeners who has relocated to the area, but it's not just his anecdotes, although he certainly shares some with us, but what has taken place. And Detroit, I mean, you traveled there a lot when we were going on the road.
A few times anyway, yeah.
I mean, when the Blues would go up there for playoff series, when I was up there when the Rams played at Ford Field. I didn't go to the World Series, but Doug was up there for the World Series in 2006. And I remember driving through the downtown, and then even like where Tiger Stadium was, kind of downtown, but out on the outskirts, and it reminded. I'm like, God, this is St. Louis, except right there on the river across from Ontario.
And Detroit now that was in the aughts. Detroit now has turned it around.
Yeah.
And the question then becomes why? And I think people, and I understand it, I'm not saying this is wrong to focus on at all, but I think there is a chicken and egg or a cause and effect. You can't necessarily just go, well, the police need more police. The crime, I think, is the byproduct of the economy or lack thereof. Because if you have people, then you have dollars, and if you have dollars, then you have the ability for prevention. And so what's going on in Detroit is they have brought in, and this is a credit to the business community, that they have brought in people / dollars. Dan Gilbert, the founder of Quicken Loans, Cavs guy, got into it with LeBron back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But he founded Quicken Loans, so that's there, along with a number of different businesses that have made a commitment to it, and then that led to other businesses coming to Detroit. So in a sense, it's a chicken and egg conversation, but Detroit has experienced a resurgence, and by no means would people say, okay, Detroit is now the new New York or LA or something like that, but it is on the uptick, whereas as we sit here right now, I'm sure many would go, I would never buy stock in St. Louis, and I continue to say I would, but in part because the stock's value is so low right now. And I wonder if we'll get to a point where it will be worth it for investors to just take a shot on it, because there is infrastructure there. It's just in disarray, and perhaps St. Louis in the next decade can experience some form of a resurgence. That's what I'm hopeful for, and my reasoning is it would be so inexpensive relative to other markets to get into.
I always, and at the time I said it too, I when they first redid Washington Avenue, I think in some ways it was great. Didn't end up working, but it was in some ways
we
great.
had a period of time.
We did, but I was also critical of it because I felt like the way you have to build up a downtown like St. Louis is you can't start with $200,000-$300,000 condos that the average person can't afford. You got to do it like neighborhoods in New York City that were crime ridden, that became Soho, things like that. You've got to have. And kind of before Washington, there was a little of that, but it didn't get a chance to grow. Is you just got to have big, cheap space, so that students and artists and people can move into. It's not nice, it's not, but it's cool. It's a big old building with a big open space. Yeah. It's not renovated, but you get a big, awesome loft. My mom used to have a big loft in what is now the City Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like $250 a month, and it was, couple thousand square feet. We used to have big parties down there. I'm sure back in the day you used to go. Did you ever go to any parties downtown?
I lived above Flannery's
before. I mean,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
In the 80s, 90s.
In 90s, yeah.
When there was that kind of space,
Velvet,
and if that space had been allowed to become artist studios and lofts, and you could build up some population density of people who were young and creative and maybe didn't have a ton of money, but had these big, awesome spaces to be creative, to start businesses, to build some population density, instead of trying to move all these people from the county with $300,000 condos who aren't going to start businesses down there because they already have a job in the county. I think if we could do that and allow these buildings, they don't have to be pristine. They don't have to be renovated to have marble, and they just need to be livable for young people who just want a cool space, who can then create and have some density and put in a coffee shop and put in a cool art gallery. I feel like that's what you need. You got to make it cheap to build up a community down there.
Yeah.
Not transients.
I think there's something to be said for that. It's a great observation. Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious, and people would know better than me. I lived there. My business was at 19th and Locust for, 9 years. Our offices were there, and then lived there a few blocks to the east. What people would say who were there for the beginning of Washington Avenue and whenever you would call the end of Washington Avenue. I mean, by definition, it's still there. But my God, is it different than when we were living there when we moved out of downtown in 2012. Andy, always appreciate the conversation. Really got into some good stuff there with you. Thank you for for giving your perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Andy Krupin of Brown & Krupin, title sponsor
of TMA.
We didn't even get to talk about the Knicks. Isn't this a sports show?
Nah, but Jackson will talk with you all day.
Jalen Brunson, damn near flawless
Next
in the
time.
fourth quarter.
Wow.
I'm wanting Knicks Celtics Eastern Conference Finals. Am I going to get it, Jackson?
I think I think you will.
When was the last time they went this far?
They were in the second round last
Knicks
year.
were in the second round last year.
Was it? Okay, before that.
Before that,
20
they
years?
got ousted by Trae Young. That's when F. Trae Young started, if you remember, in
Remember
2021.
F. Trae Young?
No, I don't.
Trae Young.
I feel like they've been bad for a very, very long time.
The NBA is better when the Knicks are good. When the Knicks are competitive, the NBA just benefits.
Huh.
It's just more
Just because of New York.
The energy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's why I want to see it. I want to see that
yeah.
Celtics. I mean, God, can you imagine if it's the
Yeah, it's standing. And they're doing this all without
Pacers
Julius
and-
Randle. Yeah, it's not the same.
We were in
Pacers Magic. Ugh.
we were just I was just in Denver for work, and we had some meetings, and at the hotel the Lakers were in the meeting room across the hall from us. We were
Oh, is that right?
We're getting into with their security guards because they had these ropes. Sir, please walk around to the. I'm like, I'm paying for this room too.
Yeah. Andy, thank you so much.
Thank
Have a great
you.
weekend, man. There
Thanks,
he is. That's
Andy.
Andy
Take
Krupin
care.
with us here on TMA. Brown and Krupin, presenting sponsor of this award-winning radio presentation. It is Friday, and we are having a nice little conversation here. And just for the record, the backstory on that for those of you just joining us, Andy was quoted in that Wall Street Journal article that, again, it was not about like, hey, let's write and rip St. Louis. It was about how St. Louis could be foreshadowing for other downtowns. Somebody texted in while Andy was on, let's see, about how they had just gotten back from Detroit. Just spent the week in Detroit. It's mind-blowing how well their downtown is doing. Bustling. But how? Walked around all day and night, people everywhere. Dan Gilbert is a big part of it. $30 billion man committed to a city. That's from the 314.
Wow.
Tim, that discussion was incredible. Do you think you would be able to do something similar with an expanded panel of experts? For example, Mark Mantovani, I feel like that type of discussion could actually save the city. That is from the 618. I mean, a discussion, is one thing. But, I mean, hey, listen, you know what? Ideas are what, they all have to start at some very infantile beginning. And, I'm not saying that our discussion or a discussion on this show would be that, but there are some people who are, I guess in order to have change, you have to have awareness of a problem, and now the awareness is more mainstream. But what I was presenting to Andy is that the problem has been there for a while. It's just now it's undeniable. Even though I realize, I guess some people are, but hey, to each their own, and I love it, and then it becomes, well, when's the last time? I mean, I lived there. I made sure my business was in downtown as well. So I'm not coming from a place of, not to crap on somebody who lives in a county or anything like that, but I did live there. And I did travel also, not because of wealth, but because that was the job. And I'd go, oh my God, the only city that we would travel to, Doug, that reminded me of St. Louis, and there was a big gap. And I guess I didn't do any Baltimoring. Maybe Baltimore would have reminded me of it. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was Detroit. And it was a lock. And yet here you have Detroit. But that's what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to paint I'm just telling you what I think. But I think the fact that Detroit, whose problems may have been worse than St. Louis, considering 2008 and the auto bailout, St. Louis didn't have that, were deeper. And yet Detroit has experienced the boom or a resurgence. At the same time, it's not apples to apples because Detroit has Dan Gilbert. And as crazy as it is for one guy to make that kind of impact, when he's got that kind of chip stack, he can move mountains.
Well, we've got billionaires here, too. You just hope that maybe they can come up with something similar. I don't know. We also have to find a way to develop a better, for lack of a better way to say it, just better, more well-rounded people. I mean, the root problem of it all is fatherless families, people growing up in poverty, people who are hopeless, desperate, nothing to lose, don't have a good education. These are the people that grow up to be criminals. That's just the way it is. And until we figure out a way to improve that, the crime problem's not going to go away.
Yeah. think that starts with education.
Dotem, who's in Detroit, said Google has a brand new office that is attached to the new Little Caesars Arena where the Wings play. It's beautiful, and the surrounding area is filled with trendy restaurants and loose men. Doug, that's from Deke Dotem. Yeah, so maybe we should go back up there and cover the Wings camp.
Trendy restaurants I enjoy, not loose men.
Yikes! I think some people are going to text in. They're going to.
That's the bottom line for Detroit's resurgence is a lot of loose men. That's kind of what gets us in problems here. Men who don't take care of their kids.
Let's see. Crocky doesn't have a business like Gilbert to relocate here, though. That's from Mr. Licks. I love that we're. Oh, this is Mr. Licks. I love that we're thinking about allocating half of the Rams' money to fix the subdivision curbs in the county. That's from Mr. Licks.
Well, the county had some money coming too, though. Yeah, that's where it's going, fixing some streets.
Didn't Mark Mantovani talk about St. Louis hiring consultants or speaking to leadership in other cities who've gone through a resurgence? Yes, he did. I believe he had a fellowship at Harvard on urban redevelopment, he went up to talk with the professor after a class one day, and the guy said, "Oh, where are you from?" He said, "St. Louis." He goes, "Oh my God, that's the worst one we've got in the entire country."
Yeah.
As far as infrastructure goes, or government, I think. Actually, government.
Somebody did a study, I think it was out of Toronto, and they rated St. Louis had the worst comeback of any city in North America after COVID. We were the worst.
But the best fans.
Hit by COVID the hardest.
What about the fans?
Still the best fans in baseball.
Thank you.
But we've also had leadership that has blamed the police for problems instead of the people committing the crimes. Won't prosecute some of the criminals, let them go. That's a huge problem. It's a massive problem.
Like I said, I mean, I understand that, and I'm not dismissing it. I think that it's so chicken and egg. And just knowing Mark, and I know anytime this comes up, I talk about it, but I mean, we speak daily now because of his role with Sound Story. And it's not like we talk about the city, all the time, or the region all the time. I didn't know the guy at all. And there were some guys who were like, "Hey, we'd like to have him on the podcast." And I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know, who is he? This was 2018 when he ran against Stenger. I mean, he lost to a guy who went to jail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'll do it. Poor Seymour's, busting his ass for big names in studio every week. We'll do this. And we'd had a variety of politicians on over the course of, Jim Talent was in studio, Jack Danforth was in studio, Jay Nixon was in the studio, Megan Green was in studio. Vince Shamel, Gene McNary was in studio. So the podcasts, and then when people were running for office, they would contact me to come on the show, Wesley Bell and Bob McCullough. And I'm like, how did this turn into Meet the Press? I'm most of the time I'm talking about like threesomes from, but okay, I'm glad that people, want to have the conversation. So then the podcast kind of got affiliated with these kinds of conversations, and people were receptive to it. And after the first one, I had Ed Martin. You remember Ed Martin?
Sure.
And he represented to me individually. I'm telling an anecdote, not looking to litigate this, because I'm sure plenty of you would disagree, and that's fine. And God bless. What are the people? Producer Joe, Doug. Some people like things, some people don't like other things.
That's right.
But I thought that he represented for me what I personally don't like in American politics, which is the use of dogma to get votes. And I think it works, and I know this sounds like a handjob comment, but I mean it, on both sides. You can have dogma in religion to get votes, or you can have dogma in identity politics. It can cut both ways. Just get your group by giving them their regurgitated dogma. And so in his case, he would use religion, and he was associated with Phyllis Schlafly. Like, this guy is not my guy. But I'm not going to scream at him. I wanted to hear his perspective. And then I got my balls hazed off by a few people
were like, "Why didn't you yell at him? Why didn't you pull out?" And I'm like, "Well, because he's a guest, and I want to hear where he's coming from. I'm not. This isn't like Crossfire. I just wanted to hear where he's coming from." So once people understood that was my interview style, not like, "Here, I'm going to hold you accountable. Welcome in. It's the Morton Downey Jr. show." Remember the Morton Downey Jr. show?
Yeah, he would smoke
and then blow the smoke in the guest's face. Maybe I should do that.
I'm surprised that's not on now.
I agree. Yeah, that'd be perfect for 2024. But anyway, we would have these conversations. So Mark comes in. This is how I met him. I mean, I'm grateful that it happened. I mean, I wish he would have won. But, for the business I'm involved in, it's great to have him as a part of it. But the thing that stood out to me is he told that story about the exchange at Harvard. But then also, he goes, "Listen, I have no interest in doing anything else other than being county executive. I don't think I'd necessarily be good at anything else other than county executive, but I see an opportunity here. We're being lapped by cities that we used to consider to be minor league, and now they're passing us. And if we don't do something about it, we're not going to be able to come back from it. And so I'm not looking to be, take your pick of, a senator or governor or anything like that. County executive, that's it. I'm not using this as a stepping stone. And I really believe that I can fix it." And he was going to do some things that were unpopular, but he didn't care because he wasn't looking to climb the political ladder. But he felt like these were the things that were necessary. And now, having worked with him for a number of years, I mean, that's his style. His style is very direct. I personally love it, but my God, he'll rip my ass, and I don't think anything of it because it's
you had
business.
it coming.
Well, I mean, it's because we don't need to, use our hands on each other. Let's shoot straight. We got a job to do, and that's it. And I'm not, I've got friends. I don't need any more friends. We got a job to do, and that's. But I think you have. However, Steve Stanger beat him. It was not a large defeat. The stupidest thing to me is, well, we're in the pandemic, so we need a doctor as county executive, even though the guy's an anesthesiologist. I mean, what in the world? I think that was I'm not saying he's the savior. I'm just saying that was a big miss because we both share the opinion, probably for different reasons, that one of the core issues for our region is leadership. And that was an opportunity. And I know, and I don't think it's my place to say what he was planning on doing, because if he didn't say it, then I don't think it's necessarily my place to say it publicly. But God, he would. Plenty of the people who would have voted for him wouldn't have liked it. But that wasn't what he didn't care. He had his eyes on, something that would. The region would reap the harvest of things that would be taking place years down the road that, he would set into motion. And, that's just his style. He's not a glad hander, but he's a winner. And it's a shame that and the only thing that he didn't win in was the thing that I think would have been the best thing for so many of us, which would have been county executive. But I know, some people don't like him or whatever, so you can text in and tell me I'm an a-hole or whatever.
Oh.
It doesn't really matter. But, I work with the guy on a daily basis, and I don't really like or respect many people, to be honest with you, and he's what I do. So there it is. Do with it what you want.
You don't like many people?
In politics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trust. Yeah.
Yeah, trust is gone now.
Yeah.
Trust is gone. Yeah, I think Kim Gardner did about as much damage to this city as any other individual I could think of, to destroy the trust in the legal system in the city, to think that victims weren't going to get justice because of the clown show that was going on in her office. I mean, that did major damage to this town. It really did.
And I understand that, and I'm not disputing it, but my perspective is the wheels were in motion well before Kim Gardner was in office, so I don't know.
She really dumped a lot of gasoline on the fire, though.
Yeah, like I said, we were at City Museum about a month ago with our kids, and we lived, God, I don't even know if it was a 2-minute walk from there for years. My wife and I did, and we drove down Washington, not to go, oh, let's reminisce, but I just go, oh my God, to think that this is where we lived, and we would just walk around like we were in a neighborhood in Manhattan, and we would eat outside and, be out all day long and all night long as well. But I continue to say this, and I don't, because it doesn't necessarily usually end on an optimistic perspective, but I don't say it to win people over, because I also don't care, in the sense that I don't care if you agree or disagree. So I'm not looking for approval. I really do think that now that people are aware of the problem, I think that necessary step has been taken. You can't commit to change if you don't believe there's a problem. And now people understand there's a problem. And unlike, say, I don't know, what is a new city that is experiencing, monster growth. I mean, like Austin and Nashville weren't what Austin and Nashville were 30 years ago. St. Louis does have the infrastructure. Now, a lot of it's damaged. But St. Louis already has, how many interstates go through here? 64, 44, 55, 70. That's substantial. And you do have a number of really sharp people who come from here. Unfortunately, oftentimes after school, they leave here. But, from an opportunity standpoint, I really am. I'm bullish. Again, I'm bullish in part because the price point is so low to get in. But I don't know. I just think that I think it's rock bottom, and so that's another reason from my perspective. Harrison's brother Master with a rare compliment. I've never opened up one of his texts. Oh, well, was it first part of it's a compliment?
No, he got it.
Who's your Trojan horse?
This conversation is outstanding, and then there's a little back-ended shot at the end. But
well, there's going to have to be something that brings people from other areas here. Because the people that are already living here, for the most part, they've given up. And they started giving up decades ago, moving to West County, then to St. Charles and to Jefferson County. The growth is mammoth out in St. Charles County. Those people, most of them, I'm sure have their roots much closer to the city. They gave up long time ago. Now, it could be that you could get some kind of industry growing here where people from other parts of the country are going to want to come here, but the people who are here now, they don't seem to want anything to do with going back to St. Louis. Right. Something's got to change for that to happen.
And so that's where we both agree there's a problem. Neither one of us are disputing that. I think you just, and I'm not dismissing the crime at all. What I'm saying is, if you get to what you're talking about, I think that is more of the cause for the crime going away than take your pick of whatever social ills that may be, or police lack of support that certainly get people activated. Don't get me wrong, but again, I think Detroit's resurgence was the byproduct of business. And again, they had a sugar daddy, in Dan Gilbert.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
And that's
some huge business to bring people from.
But once Gilbert played a role in that, there was a department store down there called Hudson's. I'm talking in Detroit. And it got revamped, and now it's turning into, and it has turned into, a skyscraper with shops, office space, and a hotel. And then Gilbert was behind that project. And then you have automakers getting into a variety of different new industries, or with other new industries following suit. And that includes fintech, cybersecurity, healthcare, IT, and retail. And then on top of that, autonomous vehicle makers are targeting Detroit due to its roots in the car business. So it's once you light the fire, then it could go. And if something becomes trendy, and I'm not talking about like restaurants and neighborhoods, although we see that's what people I think of more trendy, but in business, and if you can get in and you see a high ceiling but a low price point for your entry, that's what people will gamble on. And call it gambling if you want, investing if you want, kind of the same thing. And I think St. Louis's entry point is about as low as you're going to find for a top 25 market. I don't know where it could possibly be lower. And again, St. Louis has some infrastructure. And I don't know. I wish I had the capital to buy some up right now, actually, because I would allocate a portion.
Maybe they could get some billion-dollar corporations to sponsor certain neighborhoods. Like certain neighborhoods would be sponsored by Anheuser-Busch and others by Boeing, and then one by Enterprise and one by the Cardinals, and they could use that as image advertising and kind of get in competition for each other to see how they could spruce up certain areas of the city. And I don't know, just thinking outside the box there a little bit.
Just moving in the right direction would just give people hope. And that starts to charge in the other direction.
Yeah. Because some of these corporations, I mean, they're philanthropic. They give away millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And if you could, isolate certain neighborhoods and pump millions into there and clean it up and put in something new, maybe step by step, something like that could work.
It's an interesting and kind of fun little anecdote. I used to hang out at Sidebar as well. I fisted a boy at Sidebar all coked up. That's from the Recovering Alcoholic, so that's kind of fun.
Got us off the train of thought.
Mr. Licks would like to pivot the discussion back to what went wrong on 16 for Iggy last Sunday.
Oh, yeah. What was it about that putt that made you think it was so good when it was, in fact, so horrible? Oh, his lips are sealed.
His lips are sealed. Look at that. What a gesture.
That's a nice hole, boy.
I said I'm no longer talking about that hole.
What a reward for those who are watching. 281 folks in the YouTube chat. Looks like Cucky the Dwarf is active this morning, along with Don. Cucky the Dwarf and Don Peepee interacting, Doug. What else could you ask for?
Not much besides that.
Like an all-star game.
Yeah, it is. Along with Jock Hoare.
Last name, W-H-O-R-E? That's his last name?
No, H-O-R-R-O-R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of.
Horror,
yeah. Perhaps that was bad pronunciation. We're in the IHOP 8 o'clock hour. IHOP has new pancake-inspired milkshakes. Try the new Cinestack and Cupcake Shakes. House-made shakes at IHOP. Doug, tell the people about IHOP. I think they need to know from you.
Well, the calendar flipped to May, so you know what that means? We have a new pancake of the month. And you're probably wondering, well, what is it now? I'll tell you. It's white chocolate raspberry pancakes. They've got white chocolate raspberry and the white chocolate chips mixed in there with whipped cream and cream cheese icing. How about that for four pancakes?
Sounds
Pancake
delicious.
of the month for IHOP. Yeah, they mix it up every month. They've also got an incentive to try every Pancake of the Month flavor with their annual loyalty challenge within the International Bank of Pancakes. Order the Pancake of the Month 2 or more times in a month to earn 10 pan coins for that month. Order the Pancake of the Month at least once a month for the entire year, and you receive 100 bonus pan coins. Now, wouldn't that be a treat? And you need to go to IHOP, and you need to go there regularly, not just to build up your pan coins, but to enjoy all the other delicious items. It's more than just pancakes here, of course. They got that classic chicken sandwich, grilled or crispy chicken breast with bacon, lettuce, tomato, 4-cheese blend, avocado and buttermilk ranch on a grilled roll. They've also got the French toast sticks. How's that sound?
Oh, it sounds good, Jack.
Sliced French toast with a side of fresh strawberries, banana, and chocolate dipping sauce.
That's the right response.
That's for kids 12 and under. And they got some great drinks like the Watermelon Splasher, a blend of lemonade, lemon lime soda, and watermelon syrup topped with fresh blueberries and watermelon. I had that when Steve Miller was in here the other day. It was you know what? It was delightful. IHOP has got a whole menu of delightful food, and they're not just for breakfast. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Make IHOP your choice. Try IHOP's new spring menu featuring tasty chicken sandwiches and that new cinnamon apple pecan pancake at IHOP.
There it is. I would like to recommend EDF. They give Doug his hot take mittens. You want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Doug, you're wearing them right now for the 281 Friends of the Feather in the YouTube chat. It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Send your emails in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today. Comes your way at 9:45. Jackson and I are going to do balloon party today, Doug, and I can't believe what he has on tap here as we're going to get you ready for the Cardinals and White Sox, but look back on our favorite moments from the series in Detroit.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like we didn't break it down enough.
About how Jack Flaherty carved up the Redbirds?
That, the offensive outburst that was the series in Michigan, and how we think this team is ready right now to make their move.
All signs certainly point in that direction.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you for the delicious take. Tim, are you walking on Monday? Will you have a caddy? Wondering if I'll be riding alone. All right, got to go now. That's from Flip Wilson. Doug, he is my opponent. On Monday, yours is the defending champion, Dogtown tie. Probably will be tough for me to get a caddy on Monday at 12:15.
I have one, the 830 Recreator, and he's messaged me to tell me that his app is fixed and he'll have the proper yardages this time that he did not have last Sunday for Iggy.
Well, unless he downloaded a new app, he's got the same app. You can't fix that app.
Well, he says he's got the app fixed and he's raring to go.
Well, good for you.
Yardages are accurate now.
Well, good luck to you.
Don't write him off. He's a heck of a caddy.
Tournament.
I had fun with him.
If somebody wants to caddy for me, and you're available at 12:15 on a Monday, yeah, I would love to walk. You're not going to walk, though, probably. He's just going
God, no.
I love to walk.
Do you?
I
walk
my back is better, and I don't want to mess it up by carrying my bag for 18 holes, but I'd like to walk. I'm playing this afternoon, assuming it's not ridiculously wet.
Why don't you go old man and get a pull cart?
That's what I did. I had to play in an event. Shot a nice 84 too, so I came through, and I had a pull cart.
It's fun to play with a pull cart.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's nice.
I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm 47. I'm not 25, Jackson. So hey, it is what it is.
They even have them now.
I don't really give a damn. But I fortunately am in decent enough shape that carrying a bag isn't usually a big deal until I messed up my back, and it's gone away now, Doug. And when I have the biggest match of my life on Monday, you think I'm going to take a chance with that?
I wouldn't think so. They have carts now that
Plus
actually,
3-member guests in a span of 4 weeks.
They have them that'll roll themselves.
Oh yeah,
you seen those?
Yeah. They got
you don't even have to pull
you just have a little remote shoot.
I like that.
Down before they had the little scooters, like the little motorbikes where you put your bag up front.
I like that even more.
Oh, it was so much fun.
I stood next to him on a hole and had the exact same yardage on my Garmin watch. So I think Iggy is just looking for excuses, blaming the recreator. That's from Mr. Licks, Iggy's opponent.
Yeah,
You were never anywhere near my caddy.
Oh. I would think the little scooters might be better than the golf carts because you have your individual scooter. They're probably not so heavy, not so damaging to the course.
Yep.
Must be a lot more expensive or more dangerous. Maybe a lot of the old guys would fall off the scooters.
Well, if it's cars on path, there's no way they'd let a scooter out there.
Well, if it wasn't as heavy, maybe you could.
Gas carts are pretty light. Gas carts aren't too. It's electric carts that are really, really heavy. You got like 6 batteries up in there. Heavy ass batteries.
Yeah.
Too.
So it looks like I got a caddy. Scott's wrinkled ballsack's wife.
No.
She won't be worth a crap for yardage, but I'm sure she'd be more than happy to carry your bag and scrub your balls.
Oh!
Is it Gary Woodland's wife who carries his bag sometimes?
That was Lee Westwood.
I get them confused sometimes. W last names.
But he doesn't do the ball scrubbing.
Clip that off.
I don't know. Someone's got to scrub the balls.
Oh, Mr. Siders has offered. Jackson, would I like spending 4 hours with him? I met him at the Ascension. He was a delightful gentleman.
He's a delightful guy.
Look at that. And a great ball striker.
Yeah, real good player.
Tim, I'll caddy as long as we can hold hands in between shots. Would you be uncomfortable with that? Because you'll be in this pairing.
Maybe Iggy would caddy for you.
Oh. You interested?
No, because I charged a caddy, and I wouldn't charge you to caddy for you. So.
Well, I mean, if you provide a service, you know.
I'm caddying for Cletus the following Monday, I think.
What do you charge to caddy, guy?
Yeah, what is your rate? What's your industry standard?
$50.
It's a decent price for a loop.
And you offer a lot of advice?
Well, Cletus seems to win more than not when I caddy.
How about that, Doug?
People would be hesitant to take your putting advice after this fiasco on the 16th hole.
I'm pretty good at reading greens.
I agree with that in a big way, actually. I don't think I am. So it's a nice compliment. The issue is, if I were to walk, in this case, somebody would actually have to carry my bag. And in that case, I feel like you got to pay somebody. You know what I mean? Which I'm not saying I wouldn't do.
What if they were to get a pull cart?
They don't have pull carts at Gateway. Although Stephen Wildwood brought one, didn't he? Didn't he have one? He had one.
My dad does that. He brings his own.
Yeah. But you know what I like, Doug? I like a comfortable pairing. A comfortable pairing is important to me. And I'm like, okay, when Jackson says Flip Wilson's a good guy, and I've met Dogtown Ty, Doug obviously is difficult. Yeah. I mean, I think that's you and you.
I'm a club thrower.
You and Ackerman are the two guys in this market. People say, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're talented, but do you really want to work with them? So I'm like, okay, it's going to be a comfortable pairing, but then I'd like to be able to walk so I don't have to, put you guys through. But then I can't carry my bag. Usually I carry my bag in the Fan Page Club chain, or when I play in general. Yeah. Then I'm playing a course that you can walk. I mean, you can't walk like the Bluffs, Ann Briar. Yeah, it's a nice play.
I play with some guy who walked Ann Briar. That was a
God, it'll wear you
long
out.
day.
Yeah.
Beer Cats wants the audience to know that I am undefeated when he caddies for me, and Cletus is 0-1 when I caddy against him. That's from Beer Cats.
You caddy for Tim once. Congratulations.
Don't get sour now.
text me and I'll talk dirty to you.
Tim, I can be your caddy, but I went to private school, so I'm not going to carry that bag, but I would be willing to give you a piggyback ride. That's from Kurt's former coworker, so that could actually work.
You'd get heavy, even if you're not a large gentleman. Over
I had Chick-fil-A last night.
Oh, nice.
So I'm
Spicy
up to
chicken?
$1.56.
Get a spicy
Are you
chicken.
really?
I did.
Waffle fries.
We went to Zach Bryan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and had to put something down real quick. Took my son. People thought, by people I mean my wife's parents, who were kind enough to come over and watch, that we were crazy for doing it. But I'm like, we were playing. He was out on the golf course with me in Hilton Head. Doug, number 14 at Harbortown. I think it's the toughest par 3 on tour.
God, that's a rugged par 3.
Scoring average. I think it's the toughest par 3 on tour, scoring average. And we had just played the hole with the planks around the bunker, and that large bunker, for those of you who just watched the RBC a week or two ago. And my round wasn't going well. The hawk was up. I was on my way to a very rough 88. You can check the Gin app. I posted it. And my son says to me, he's 6, and he goes, "What's your favorite song?" And I go, "Hey, boy, I'm fighting for my life out here. You keep it zipped. What are you even doing out here?"
Yeah. He talked first in the conversation? Gosh, kids today.
Thank you. And I said,
no respect.
Thank you. I said, "I don't know." I said, "I got the toughest par 3 ahead of me here.
Yeah.
I'm a little focused on that. And then I'm going to try to hit the 73-yard wide fairway on 18, which I promptly then blew into the apartments or villas on the right." But he said, "Mine's Oklahoma Smoke Show by Zach Bryan."
Really? Does he know what a smoke show is?
I don't think so, but then at the same time, part of me thinks he may. He's a loyal listener.
Texan.
So, yeah, I took him, and my wife went with us, of course, and my in-laws watched the 2-year-old, and we had a lovely little time last night.
Those
Seems like a fun
concerts are
show.
fun.
Yeah.
They're fun time.
I thought we might see Adam Wainwright come out for Revival, which is, for those of you who aren't familiar, and I imagine a large portion aren't, that's the closing song. The encore, Do You Want More?
How was the people watching of the Cowboys who were there?
Well, I believe I had the only 6-year-old in attendance.
Did you?
There were a lot of young lasses, that's for sure. A lot of young lasses. Jackson, I know you're a man in love. You're off the market, but yeah, if you were not.
Oh, yeah. I went to what's the other guy? Luke Bryan show last year. And it was,
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs. It's,
Luke Bryan was here also.
Yeah, I get him confused. Not a big country guy. But did Zach Bryan play Spotless?
I do not believe so.
Damn. All right.
But I exited to the restroom.
Play Smoke
my
Show?
son. Oh God, yeah.
That's one of his
The reaction of my son when he played, he just couldn't have been happier.
That's so awesome.
He loves 9 Ball, which is a video, and Matthew McConaughey is in it, gambling. About his dad being a gambler. Maybe that's why it resonates with him.
The only problem with the concerts is they always save the song you really want to hear, their most popular song, right at the end. So you can't duck out a little early. So everyone leaves at the exact same time. So you're 45 minutes in the parking lot before you get anywhere.
Yeah, the encore, it's true.
Yeah.
But also sometimes they won't play the hits, certain hits, because they only have so much time, and they've come out. I've talked about going to the Greta Van Fleet show last weekend, and my favorite song of theirs they didn't play because it was on their old album and they were doing the tour for their new album.
No, like that at all. Were you mad as a hornet?
No, because I got to see. It was a really great performance. But I did really want to. And this song, I really want to hear live because it's very cinematic and big.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to. But that
sounds like you're mad as a hornet.
In concert,
you post a Yelp review.
They should always play their biggest hits in concert.
Always. The song that Zach Bryan won a Grammy for didn't play last night.
I don't like that at all.
Is that Going South?
About recent Grammy, I Remember Everything.
Oh, with Casey Musgraves?
So what he's been doing with that one is he'll have a local artist. Right. She performed it with him, I think, the opening night of the tour in Chicago. But she's over in Europe and texting me constantly. But I thought, okay, they'll have a local artist perform it. But they did not do that.
Wow.
And I thought there might be a Wainwright cameo for Revival. That was my play.
Interesting.
Because they'll oftentimes bring up local, I think some of the 49ers came up on stage with them in San Francisco.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Nelly was there for Tim McGraw a month or two ago.
But they had a song together.
Yeah, they did. About half a song, and then he left.
But I guess Wainwright's on the call of a game on tomorrow, so maybe.
Yeah, he's been in.
And then I was like, well, then maybe they'll have some Cardinals or Blues come up. But then I'm kind of like, I mean, Goldschmidt ain't going to be dancing around the stage. Arnado going to be dancing around the stage.
Newt Bar, maybe.
Yeah, Newt Bar.
Victor Scott.
Yeah, when I got video for the Plowhawk of Newt Bar dancing around doing the pepper grinder.
People would love it.
Guys, Van Fleet is a former weather guy in Florida. Very annoying to work with. That's from the 407.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Van Fleet is a former weather guy in Florida. Very annoying to work with. What is that's from the 407.
I talked about seeing Greta Van Fleet, but that has nothing to do with just Van Fleet.
I liked them better the first time I heard them when they were called Led Zeppelin.
Ah!
Okay.
That's a populist take. They've kind of created their own sound now.
Yeah, they have. Now they've kind of gotten away from it. And
It's like folk rock. I like folk rock.
Do you?
I like folk music.
No Spotless on the set list. Agree, Jackson. So sad. Song slaps. Lummy up.
The two favorite songs, Spotless is my favorite, and then I Remember Everything's my second favorite, and you didn't play either. So
Play the hits.
I would have been left
I
out.
was looking at the set list and comparing it to other, I guess, I don't know where he was earlier this week, and played like 21 songs, and I think he usually plays like 24 to 26. I don't know, whatever. I was just happy to be with my
well, you knew you had your kid. You had to get out of there kind of quick.
Well, there wasn't that. I couldn't use the Blues are only playing 2 periods tonight. Now that he plays hockey, he's a little hip to that. But I mean, I knew that he wasn't taking the stage until like 9:15, so I already knew that my. Doug, you always ask what my whoop sleep was.
Yeah,
I know that
very
that's something that you're
interested
very. Boy, last night, my this is like if I had drinks, and I'm going to get all messed up tomorrow, so I'm going to have a rough week. 19% recovery. Oh, how? I mean, whoever's gambling against me today in golf is going to be profitable.
What's a good recovery percentage?
Probably I mean, I'm sure I've had some in the 90s, but usually a good one for me is in the 70 to 80%. Don't eat after 5:30. Get to bed by 9:30. I mean, again, that's because of how early we get up relative to probably most people. You know, don't eat a big meal. If I eat more than like 1,000 calories for dinner, then I'm going to have a bad recovery. Obviously, if you have drinks, that's going to have an impact on it. And then you should always masturbate 3 times.
Oh, I was thinking hot cocoa.
So McConaughey said in Wolf of Wall Street. His character's name, Mark Hanna.
Think about that.
Really?
Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, said rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up.
Is Lindsey Buckingham going to join Stevie Nicks for a reunion? That's from Mud Puppy. Iggy, you think?
No, they're not talking.
Why not?
Well, when they went back on a tour and Lindsey wanted to put it off for a year because he had a solo album he was doing and he wanted to go on tour to promote that, and they got upset. They didn't want to wait a year, so they kicked him out of the band.
No, did they?
And then Stevie said she's getting tired of it always being about Lindsey, and they went back to their beef again.
Guys, Ty Wigginton came out on stage at the Los Lonely Boys concert at the Fenton Walmart in 2013 wearing cargo shorts and a tap-out shirt with Skechers.
Tap-out
And
shirt.
was very popular.
It's a great
Well,
reference.
they've never played Walmart, so.
How about this? Doug David Clanahedism played.
That's a performer. He needs a larger venue than where he was.
Dolores is just spinning in her grave listening to that.
Dolores O'Riordan.
Don't know who that is.
Cranberries lead singer. May she rest in peace. 9:17 in St. Louis. We'll wrap up the IHOP 8 o'clock hour here. Schaefer Door Company, 9 o'clock hour coming your way. And you are welcome to email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. That's going to come your way at approximately, I'll say 9:48 today. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Don't forget, support the sponsors. That's the name of the game. Premier Construction Exteriors does roofing, siding, windows, concrete, and more. Veteran-owned and operated. A hands-on contractor. They don't subcontract all their work out to other smaller companies and just tack their profit on the end price. They can work with your insurance company on the claims for storm damage to your roofing, siding, or windows. They're building their brand, a small operation that wants the best and honest solution to revitalizing your home. Located in St. Peters, Missouri, but licensed in Illinois and Missouri. Dan or Jay, or who you call, 314-224-2543, 314-224-2543 to set up a free estimate. $500 discount for TMA listeners. Find them on Facebook at Premier Construction Exteriors. That's Premier Construction
exteriors. And if you are looking for a marketing partner, 2060 Digital is a Hubbard company right here in this very building. In today's fast-paced world of digital marketing, making meaningful connections with your audience can be a daunting challenge for any business. But what if there was a place where connections aren't just made, but nurtured for growth? Enter 2060 Digital, our sister company backed by a 100-year-old media empire, just like 105.7 HD2. It's Hubbard Radio. If you're a business owner or marketer seeking more strategic ways to reach and engage customers, look no further than 2060 Digital. With 12 years of expertise, 2060 specializes in simplifying the complexities of digital marketing. Our team demystifies the process by transforming it from a challenge into an opportunity for your business, whether it's enhancing your brand's online presence, optimizing digital campaigns, or increasing customer engagement. 2060 is here to propel your business forward. Think your business has room to grow? Let us prove it to you. Visit 1057thepoint.com/2060digital to request a complimentary digital audit today. Send your emails in. Design, air, heating, and cooling. Email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That comes your way in about 25 minutes. Then balloon party at 10 o'clock. This is TMA, presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lottman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflottman.com.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobiggs.com.
John, it's time.
For what?
The kitchen. It was fine when we moved in, but that was when we were poor. Now it's falling apart.
Poor? Just because I didn't support your Zen Garden idea doesn't mean we're poor.
These quick fixes the previous owners did just to sell this place is not cutting it anymore.
Okay, let's go.
Where?
To Collier and Thompson. If we're going to do it, it should be done the right way. And honestly, they've got everything we'll need, and I don't want to go to 6 or 7 different stores. What do you say? Babe?
John, they close at 5. You're wasting daylight.
This couple knows what they're doing. Collier & Thompson is first class, top-of-the-line products with high-quality work. If something goes wrong, my guy Matthew will go back and help out. Collier & Thompson remodels kitchens, bathrooms, man caves, office space, bars, wine rooms, even fireplace walls. Their 10,000-square-foot showroom with more than 20 kitchen displays is on Manchester Road in Baldwin, right next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Let Collier & Thompson bring your dream remodel to reality online at collierandthompson.com.
Judas Priest. Invincible Shield Tour USA 2024. The Priest. This Sunday night, St. Louis Music Park. With special guest, Sabaton. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Judas Priest, live.
Rosalita's Cantina is known for having the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From carne con cerveza to shrimp diablo, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita. Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and brunch at the DePere location on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 3. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today.
Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Come back
now.
It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After
on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Nice.
Coal-based fire burning in the outfield. Wow.
Nice.
Does it well in the outfield. Wow.
So good.
Outfield. Outfield.
It's my favorite part.
The breakdown.
That is a breakdown. Welcome, friends. It's the Schaefer Door Company, 9 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Jackson Burkett, and KG No-Town. Ken Strode left the show.
Yeah,
he is now doing Keishi.
He's talked out. He bopped on down to Keishi.
He's putting.
He's putting.
Was that an original composition I just heard? I mean, the whole song, is that a takeoff from something else?
Fire burn on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Because
it
it
is very
sure
good.
was a nice tune.
Yeah, some of them are produced pretty well. Like, they actually sound like, hey, they put a little effort into the recording. Others, they clearly were, like, yelling into their MacBook original microphone.
I seem to remember we interviewed that girl, didn't we?
That would have been way before my time.
I think she was South City.
Never.
I think so. I seem to remember we interviewed her.
I don't know. I started listening in 2014. Obviously,
Yeah.
Cole Be Gone by July of 2011.
You got traded in 11, right? Right before they went on the...
Octavia Dotel, Edwin Jackson, Mark Zipchinski.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Don't forget Corey Patterson.
Like, how could I? He put out a small brush fryer.
That's correct. Cal May asked about it. How quickly can you find that drop?
Miss that.
Guys, it's comforting to know that the goose situation in the parking lot is being covered by Ken. Doug, what does that mean?
Well, there was a goose out there a couple days ago.
He claims he parked his car and got out and helped him across the road today.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, right when I don't go to this light anymore. I go to the entrance before that. There's an entrance to City Park right there.
Oh, okay.
So I said there's two ducks or geese trying to cross the street, and cars are zooming by. And I don't think ducks are smart enough to know, because this one got his beak right out there and almost got a hit.
Oh.
So I parked the car and kind of put my hand out to stop, and I chased him across the street.
Iggy, Beer Cats texted lock the door. Chief J Strongblow texted lock the door. Dave Hay, and he was the one interested in the Longo Biggs match. Get back to work on time, Strode. Didn't your boss specifically tell you it's a requirement? Hugh's brother Buffett, I guess, says he bet you. I'd like to revisit the bet with Iggy from a few weeks ago that he'll be back every segment for a month. It gave him 5-1 odds. There was no chance.
I didn't make the bet.
Is there anything Hoosier than being consistently late to your job because you have to smoke heaters? Doug, that's from Arbor Day. Hey, Tim, why did Ken feel the need to post a photo of geese?
Why do you care what I post? Did it bother you? Did it ruin your day that I posted that I said I did my good deed of the day?
Brad Boca says posting about saving geese is attention whoring. That's why he's bothered by it.
No, it's maybe somebody else will do a good deed today. That's my whole point, is that maybe somebody else will do something nice today.
Try to inspire someone. Pass it on.
That's all it was.
Takes a village.
Yeah, I really need the attention.
Tony, did something catch on fire in the dugout in the fourth inning? There was like a small fire down near the end of the dugout, and Corey Patterson stomped it out.
Oh, I missed that. I don't know.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a game. Yeah, if you know anything about me, it's that I want all the attention. That's what I do.
Brad and Boca call in 636-9004 TMA.
I don't know what happened, because I was outside for exactly 5 minutes. And we used to, when Plowsy started, we have a few more sponsors. That it was like no, I'm just asking Jackson, because they were like 6.5 minutes long. If like a week and a half straight, I was back here in time, but I don't know.
That break, Iggs, was...
How long was it?
2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, about 6 minutes.
6 minute break.
Yeah. Well, I was out there for 5 minutes.
Well, we missed you.
Maybe my clock is wrong. Well, lock the door.
You were missed. No, you were missed.
I almost dropped an S-bomb.
We assumed that you were out saving some of the wildlife.
No, there was a duck on top of the building the other day.
Now, these were geese, right? Canada geese?
Yeah, I say duck. They were geese. Yeah, I don't know. You know, you eat duck. But I guess people eat goose, too, because they talk about the Christmas goose.
Right.
I've never had goose.
I haven't
Foie gras. That's goose liver. Pate.
No, I guess I have. I've had...
Yeah.
I've had pate before.
Goose must not be very good, or you'd think that it would be more popular on the menu, because there's certainly a lot of them.
And you can't find it anywhere. And you go to the store, you see frozen duck. You don't see frozen goose.
And every golf course you're on, there's geese all over the place.
Yeah, but it's because nobody kills them to eat them, so they live forever and they start populating, and they're all over the place.
I guess.
There was one that was just like lost. I said Monday. It was walking around, and it was just staring in the cycle bar window. And the week before that, there was one on top of the building.
When I lived in Rochester, Minnesota,
waiting for that fountain to go on.
This must have been the birthplace of the Canada goose population. They were there by the tens of thousands.
Don't you think?
I lived right behind
in Canada, where the goose started.
You would think maybe they summer or they winter in Rochester. I lived right behind a cornfield at one point, and there were tens of thousands of them there. It was like a military base where they practiced V formations.
But I thought they go where there's water. I mean, there's no, other than the fountain, there's no water around here. I don't know how they get here.
Doug, watch this. Full feather jacket.
Oh, I liked it.
And on the golf
Creve
course,
Coeur
it's
Lake
terrible.
is close. They probably like that place.
Well, Creve Coeur Lake isn't close to here for,
If you're a
for
goose,
a goose.
it is. Sure. It wouldn't take you very long
Well,
to fly there.
you fly to find water. Well, you fly here and say, oh, look, there's a building. Let's just go down here. Maybe he's got a nest around here somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Deep intellectual things are just my jam.
Little Beer Cats is joining in now, and this is a father-son tandem, Doug.
Okay.
How proud they must be of each other that they just text into radio shows and trash people.
My good deed for the day is giving Iggy advice to be a damn man, or to be on damn time for once. That's from Little Beer Cats.
I'll take that in consideration.
Okay.
It's really getting just tiring.
I can see that it is. Yeah. I'd say we're up to 62% crestfallen.
I mean, to worry about my job. I mean, my God Almighty.
They miss you when you're not here on time.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now the rubbing of the forehead, we're 70% crestfallen.
Jackson, we have an announcement here in our Schaefer Door Company 9 o'clock hour. The Milagro Tequila, Listener of the Month for the month of April 2024 has been decided. You see the white smoke coming out of the Vatican. The papal conclave is complete. And Jackson Bennett Burkett has the announcement.
Doug,
yeah,
your April Listener of the Month presented by Milagro Tequila is...
Who is it?
Mr. Licks.
Mr. Licks!
Gosh, is that right?
Mr. Licks got the W.
Wow.
The people got together. It was Plowsy's last vote. Plowsy's last vote, because he was with us for most of April.
Mm-hmm.
The votes were tallied, and Mr. Licks came away the champion.
Wow.
Really?
And I know it's a secret ballot, but I'll tell Licks I voted for you.
Wow.
You voted for him, huh? I voted for Karen.
Yeah, there were two girls in there I never heard of.
Yeah.
I don't remember who I voted for, but I know I didn't vote for Mr. Licks.
Karen called in. I figured that was a girl that called
I guess
in.
we know who the other two votes who voted for Licks were. No, you voted for a girl? Doug? Tim, you voted for...
I honestly don't remember who I voted for.
Because Plowsy...
But I know I didn't vote for Mr. Licks.
Oh, well, I don't know how he won, because Plowsy said he voted for a girl.
Oh, I know. I voted for Micah Sage. That was one of the options.
Yes.
And I have an email right in front of me about Micah Sage.
So you just needed the most votes. You don't need a majority. Correct?
Hell, I don't know.
Because...
Wouldn't the most votes also be the majority?
No, because... I guess...
Iggy's actually correct on this.
Because Licks only had 2 votes.
Okay, so, because I know this is going to come up now.
Oh, you voted for Licks.
No, it's... If two people, if it's 2-2-1, so 2 votes, 1...
Yeah.
I just flip a coin for the 2 votes.
Oh,
the teams,
sweet God.
the people who do the
Doug.
2 votes.
You did not just say that.
Not on Friday at 9:40, right before I'm about to do this little Piddles Friday 6-shooter.
I would have voted for Licks.
So Licks won a coin toss.
How I do it. Done it before.
She just went to the putting green, Doug, and played off.
Well, KG said he would have voted for Licks.
No, it doesn't count. He didn't vote.
But he would have been the tiebreaker. That would make more sense to go to him as the tiebreaker, right?
See, now this is what's going to happen, is we have armchair quarterbacks telling me how to do my job when I have a time limit on when it needs to get done, because Licks just won tickets to Judas Priest, which is Sunday.
Oh, Judas Priest, Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Mr. Licks was probably already going, but now he's got 2 more tickets.
I will give you $1,000. He's not going to the...
You will?
Iggy with an endorsement of the giveaway.
Monopoly money. No, I love Judas Priest, but Licks just doesn't look like a Judas Priest guy. He's more like probably the Tabernacle Choir or some opera.
Oh, gosh. Is that supposed to be an insult?
Take that, Licks.
No, he's just rich, according to him. So
Morrison Woods Wacko's happy for him. So happy for Licks, now he gets to share his award on the 3rd shift at the Foundry plant. Be proud, loser. It's Morrison Woods Wacko.
Foundry.
Tim, can we get a T-shirt made for TMA's newest hero, Ken the Goose Savior? You're the patron saint of geese.
I mean, it could have been a cat. It could have been a dog. It could have been a turtle. I would have
Little
got out
Tommy
the same
Tribbins.
It seems like a goose, kind of like any other bird. Right before, if you were in a car, right before you got to it, they'd fly away.
But they don't. I told you, this car almost hit his beak. It didn't move. It just stood there and then started walking again.
Okay. There's a lot of times you come up on a bird and you think, is he going to move? Is he going to move? Or am I going to hit this bird? And then right at the last instance, they
No,
fly
birds
away.
do, and squirrels do, unless they really just get scared and run the wrong way right into another car. But by the looks of it, geese don't care.
You don't see a lot of dead geese on the side of the road.
No, you don't.
I had a chat with Tommy Mattern last night.
Oh, God, stop.
This lack of respect for upper management is quite troubling. Let's smoke a little faster. That's from Beer Cat. So he's in conversation with Tommy Mattern?
Feels like he is. Yeah.
Tommy Mattern has no idea who you are.
I've seen those 2 interact, to be fair.
Ah!
Yeah, TMA events.
No.
Hey, Tommy, Beer Cats. Yeah, I'm one of the better callers. I'm well known in the show.
It was after the aforementioned Luke Combs show. Tavern by the ballpark.
The tavern.
Yeah. I'm surprised Tommy didn't come to me and say, yeah, Beer Cats brought up a good point. He's a very insightful guy. And I respect my employees and my management very much.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry this has become a thing. I just wish we could get past it.
Beer Cats is a moron. That's from Dirty Chewbacca.
I agree with that. So is
Doug,
his son.
I'll tell you who's not a moron. Schaefer Door Company. Right, Doug? They're our 9 o'clock hour sponsor.
No, your garage door may behave like a moron,
Right.
or the guy operating it might be a moron and not be able to figure out how to make it work. But they are not morons at Schaefer Door Company. They are experts at fixing anything that might go wrong with your garage door. Maybe that spring will break. Have you ever had a spring break in the middle of the night? It sounds like a gunshot went off. You walk around the house saying, what was that? What was it? I don't know what it was. Then you go to open the garage door the next morning and it won't go up, and you look up and the spring broke. That's how it works. Sometimes it's not even while it's being used, it just breaks. Schaefer Door can take care of that, especially on Monday morning. If that kind of thing happens to you on a weekend, they have a Monday morning standby service for those doors that break down over the weekend. They'll get right out for you on a Monday or any other day after that, too. Service is what they do best. You run a business or a warehouse and have those big, tall garage doors. Schaefer has experience in those types of jobs as well. The business has multiple family members working there, have been for many, many years. Are big enough to get any kind of job done, small enough to tackle any kind of minor problem that you might have that is preventing your garage door from working properly. Service techs are not commission-based, so they're not going to try to sell you a brand new door of expensive equipment maybe that you just don't need. That's not how they roll at Schaefer Door. They just want to make sure your garage door rolls properly. Go to SchaeferDoor.com. I'm going to spell Schaefer for you.
Do it, yeah.
SCHAEFER. Door. You can handle door on your own. SchaeferDoor.com, or you call or text them. Here's that number, 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a Clopay Master Authorized Dealer.
If you are injured in a car accident and you need an attorney, you need the best one you can find. If any of my family or friends are ever injured in an accident, I want them to call Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo at Longo Biggs Injury Law. For nearly 10 years, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo have been recognized as the top 40 under 40 personal injury lawyers by Super Lawyers, the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys, and the National Trial Lawyers Association. In a personal injury case, there can be a substantial amount of money on the line, and these guys know how to get you every last dollar possible. They're smart, they're tough, and they're aggressive. They routinely get high-dollar settlements, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million settlements, you name it, they've gotten it while fighting for their clients. Doug and C.D. are local. They're friendly, they're professional, and most importantly, they're excellent personal injury lawyers. And I would say, maybe even more important than that, they're in the round of 32 in the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship.
Both of them?
Both of them. Wow. Yep, they're listeners of the show, and they're in the Fan Page Club Championship, and they won their matches. I mean, Doug, you could be on a collision course with them.
I think I'm on a collision course for Monday.
Dogtown tie?
Yeah, that'll be the end of me.
How are you going to sleep on Sunday?
Like there's nothing going on Monday at all. And I'll wake up Monday and go, oh, that's right, I got golf today. And then I'll get out there and say, well, I guess I should have warmed up. Practice, maybe. And then I'll shoot my 102 and say, well, so much for that. I'll go get them next year.
Damn pay.
That's probably about how it'll go.
I kind of thought I had an advantage Sunday because the driving range was closed. And I'm sure Lex is the kind of guy who likes to warm up, and I never hit balls before I play, so I thought maybe I had an advantage.
But?
Guess I didn't.
Didn't work out that way. No, I think if you had putted more, you would have avoided that calamity at 16.
Well, I practiced putting before I started for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that's where you met Licks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we look back on it, Doug, Iggy lost the first 2 holes, so it was actually you who could have maybe used the range. That was a bad beat.
No, because I hit 2 good drives. It wasn't the drives.
What about the approaches? Were you Gurr?
No, the second hole.
Pull up.
I don't have it.
I hit a 5-wood to lay up.
On 2?
Hit a bad 5-wood, then hit a 3-wood. That's the par 5, right?
2.
Or the long par 4.
2's a par 4.
Isn't there kind of trouble in front that you have to clear
there's a bunker or
like
2.
a burr or something? Anyway, I hit 5-wood to try and lay up to give me like a wedge, but I topped a 5-wood, then I just hit a 3-wood. First hole was a good drive, and then I was given bad yardage. And
Bad
Oh!
Caddy's
830 Recreator, Doug, your caddy.
Because you couldn't tell by yourself how far you weighed.
Well, it was about 110 out, I thought. It just looked like about 100. It was in front of the 150.
And you are so precise that a yard is just a few yards off.
Well, if I hit a good, yes, Doug. If I hit a good, yes. I know how far my clubs go.
No, that's an 18 handicap.
Oh, shut up. I can slice a ball, top a ball at 18 handicap. But if I hit a ball right, I know how far it's going to go. And he said I had a 110. I thought it looked more than that. And I
really does get down to him.
No, it's just the opposite. I thought it was like 110. He said 130. I said, okay.
You came up short, did you?
So, no. Yeah, I came up in the bunker.
It's all on him. It's all on him.
Are we breaking down this?
No, we're not on
golf
16.
match?
I haven't mentioned 16.
Hellcat 831 is in the YouTube chat, and he's just not happy about it.
Who?
Hellcat 831. You are terrible at golf. What makes you think we want to hear about your shot-by-shot review?
I was asked.
I don't think so, actually. Doug was talking about his...
Well, you talked about warming up and would it helped you? And I said, no, not on one. It was bad yardage. But
bad yardage.
We were doing a live spot there, weren't we? And I interrupted.
Probably.
I wasn't
KG and O-Town, he's like Justin in Columbia. He picks his spots, he strikes. I get the hiccups from giggling like a little lady. He laid up on his second shot on a par 4. LOL. Wait until Tommy Matter and I joke about this next week at some beer cats.
I'll be there
for that combo. Ass for doing that.
I'll play you for any amount of money you want to play for.
Oh, will you?
Beer cats.
You
any
want
amount of
puffs?
money you want to play for.
Straight up?
Well, he's got to have a handicap, and then we'll play accordingly.
Doug, what does beer cat say?
I don't have any idea. I just don't.
Yes, don't talk about my golf game unless you want to play me.
You can't have that kind of macho demeanor when you're an 18 handicap. You can't.
Well, I am against him.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to shake these hiccups before Balloon Party, Jackson. It sounds like we're going to be breaking down the Knicks and Sixers for an hour.
Got it. I can go all day.
Bring your kid as a caddy, too. I'll beat both of you.
Beer Cats is so insufferable. Get a life, catch up, boy. It's from Mr. Fong, owner of the dildo shop.
How has he managed to scrape out a living just marrying ketchup?
I think he bartends, too. He serves a lot of fireballs.
Well, that would pay more than the ketchup marrying, I would think.
That's always the sign of a upscale bar that's doing nothing but fireball shots.
Okay, now you're taking a shot at these bars.
Jägermeister. With peanuts on the bar.
You know,
Is that a new report?
You didn't have any peanuts at this,
We don't know.
At this restaurant where the people were giving their daughters away to you because they ordered, what was it?
Pheasant
Salmon.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, pheasant.
No,
Pheasant Elizabeth.
We had no peanuts. We had, we did different tapenades every night on the table.
Now, this restaurant called The Greenhouse, this is in Bermuda.
I think we're in the middle of a live spot.
No, we got done with that. This is in, it looks like, and this is from the 70s, this menu? 80s?
No.
Looks like it's in great condition. I'll say that. I can't get rid of the hiccups. I'm doomed.
I had it and stuck it in a...
But the entrees are like $22, $25. That was an expensive place 40 years ago.
Well, Bermuda wasn't cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you see it's expensive. It's an upscale restaurant, tableside service. That's going to turn a lot of people on.
Oh, gosh. Especially
Doug,
the young ladies.
I am turned on by the drops of the week. I can't shake the hiccups.
Morning after. Drops of the week.
Yeah, you gotta drop it like a hot dog.
It's a wonderful drop.
Indeed it is.
Clip that off.
Clip that off.
Clip that off!
Key parties were out of date when I was banging.
You're like the Cletus of the straights.
Why would I take clubs out of my bag?
China.
No, it took me 2 days to get nude.
When was the last time you saw a full ween on a man in a movie?
They're not picky in prison. They don't care what you look like as long as you got a butt.
And you impaled her with your love.
Fingering those apples.
Why would you bite it? Really?
That's why he spits on his hands.
I would have fired sperm into the air.
Fudge shopping.
China.
I gave him some holes. He won some holes. I could have just whacked it.
Hey, Jack Pony.
Has he ever been full frontal in a movie?
They just want to touch it.
Oh, that was an inch from being stiff. when were lights invented?
Knock it off, Leather!
I've never cared about getting better.
Ken Strode sucks. The rest of the group's pretty good.
Not everybody wants to practice. I saw the worst fake male merkin last night.
You ever trying to take a civvy into Florida?
How do you wash your fruit? P in my bio.
Nice fingers.
Well, if you know the whole, Doug. Oh, I didn't know you were that smart. Take that, Doug. Jugs.
So take that, DC. Bitches.
That was Drops of the Week.
Drop, down, drop. Get it.
Beer Cats has issued a response. Mr. Fong and Dirty Chewbacca are nameless dorks. Drink bleach incels.
Where's that?
Okay, I don't know. Is that all of us? We're all incels?
I think we're talking to Mr. Fong.
He was talking about Dirty Chewbacca.
Okay.
I think we play to the incel community pretty good.
How would you define incel?
Involuntarily celibate. So
what percentage of incels are active on social media or message boards?
What percentage of incels? 85% to 90%?
Yeah, I think that's probably about...
Yeah. The other ones are like 89, 90 years old, and they're just kind of sitting there waiting for,
The Reaper?
Yeah, the ultimate sleep. And
Do you like that? The ultimate
sleep. I don't mind it.
Yeah. So that would be like the people who aren't on social media. The rest of them are locked in.
There's a large part of the population that would be incels then, right? Involuntarily celibate?
Adults. Adults. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of them.
Yeah.
Was you some of the girls that hang out with Ahito?
Changing the subject. Yeah, let's get back to the pictures that you brought in.
Doug, what'd you call this, Show and Tell Friday?
I'm in it.
Show and Tell Friday.
I'm in it, but I'm covered up if you want to see.
You're nude in these photos?
You're passing away naked photos now?
I have to say, I just glanced and I think I can see the top of your cock.
No, you
can't. Gosh.
Doug, wasn't that what Chemo's was?
It's a par 3 course in Branson, I think.
Top of the rock.
Oh.
I don't think so. No, I'm covered up. You can't see anything.
Why would you bring naked pictures into work?
Clip that off.
Jake's Coke.
Tim and I were talking about porn stars who did feature dancing on the east side. And
I'm going to be brought into the HR meeting now.
Nobody's seen these. I'm not going to let
You just showed them to Tim.
Well, if he wants to file a complaint that I showed him a picture, then so be it. But nobody's going to see these pictures. I didn't bring them in for staff.
Who'd you bring him in for?
Tim.
I just told you.
We're staff. And easily offended.
And people who aren't on the show. Guys.
I'm triggered.
We talk about porn and we were talking about penises yesterday, and you're going to be offended by that?
Iggy posts that anteater on Twitter. That's from Dotem.
There's no anteater there. You can't see it. It's covered up by all the girls' hands.
Now, will you post some of these photos?
No,
online?
I won't.
Why not?
Because a lot of these girls don't want people to know they go to Hito.
Well, edit them a little bit. Maybe crop out the head or something.
No, there's nudity in it too. Where am I going to post those?
Oh.
Twitter. You can post nudity on Twitter.
I don't care if anybody sees them. I just brought them in for you guys.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Me. Guys, look at me. Hey, guys, give me attention, guys. That's from Little Beer Cats. Did this super sad bring in photos to ensure that the show would focus 100% on him? That's from Johnny Johnson, and Iggy worked with him.
That's exactly why.
Is this seriously happening? That's from Scooter. I'd like to file a complaint that you never shut the hell up. That's from the Beer Cats family.
You're going to file a complaint that I never shut up?
I like when Iggy brings in his tchotchkes. Like sometimes you'll bring in your yearbook. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm. I am Team Iggy, and I will always be Team Iggy. Beer Cats, I'll tell you to your face you're a moron and have no remorse. This is just my way to communicate with the show. That's from Mr. Fong, owner of the Dildo Shop. 100% of incels pop off on the TMA Reddit page, and the tableside Caesar is the traditional mating dance of the great North American Hoosier. Women are helpless to the art of seduction, often performed with a comb, often peeking out of the male's back pocket. And he intricately mixes the dressing in with the lettuce. That's from Arbor Day.
The Caesar, so the tableside Caesar was a crisp romaine lettuce prepared tableside, that was your job, with a perfect blend of oil and vinegar, garlic, anchovy, and lemon juice. That'll be $10.75. Serve for two.
And a little Liam Perrins in there as well.
And that's what you would do tableside.
The University of Missouri and alums, which I would, of course, not be one just yet. Incel community is large, both on the fan page and alumni of Mizzou. That's from the KG Lemming. How about that, Doug? Incels from the University of Missouri.
Yeah, it's probably larger than you would ever know because so many people are holding out for Mr. and Mrs. America and they never find them. Never settle.
Yeah.
I just figure people can't get laid.
Well, that's why, because they set their sights too high.
I don't think that's why.
I bet it is for a lot.
I always set my sights high and I never had trouble.
No, but you're different. You're one of the most dashing playboys that's ever been around the North American scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day here in the Schaefer Door Company 9 o'clock hour. Give me a T, give me an I, give me an M. What's that spell? Preeminence. Tim deserves to win. The shoulder and finger injuries are not fair. And I'm not going to leave this in the hands of a weak-ass coin flip. That's why I've leveled the playing field. I've put a voodoo hex on Flip Wilson. The man will suffer from elephantitis of the thumbs on the course, won't be able to grip a club properly. But this email's about serenading my future lover. Well, I take whatever I want. Doug Vaughn, I want you. You give me something I need. Now I got a strappy for you. Come on, come on, come on, and do it. Come on and do what you do. Well, it's late and I want Doug. Doug that's going to split me in two.
Okay, that's enough. Who was it, Tim?
I wonder if this guy's related to Dave. It's Chris Peacock.
Chris Peacock has been suspended. He's been suspended a period of 2 days' time, and his name, as we speak, is going into the Illinois Recovery Center suspension log. You've been suspended and may need recovery. Check out IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com while serving your 2-day suspension.
Well,
Won't
fellas,
feel good.
I was obviously concerned about how the show would go once Plowsy moved into the suit-wearing corporate world of writing greeting cards, but then I used my maypole holiday to review game tape, even though the festivities are dedicated to the fertility of the breeders. My concern proved to be justified when Mr. Strode's reaction to missing an obvious and clever look at this, look at that pun was to tell the dais that he didn't think that they were that smart. Perfect. I also learned that in the high-pressure world of HD2, socks really make the outfit. Members don't care about golf at Augusta. Geese quack their thanks when getting assistance, and the best way to measure tire pressure is to literally push the tire. Keep up the great work. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of the PBA Hall of Fame voting boycott until they get worthwhile candidates.
Shooter McGavin.
Ciao. A-plus work from Darren this week on the drops, almost like Stedman was running around inside that body. Anywho, I saw someone who I thought was Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, or Chinese yesterday and thought of a high school sports journalist in Indiana. If I'm lucky, she'll venture down to my parking lot dirt patch for an evening of watching people park and endlessly talk about Gatlinburg and a putt I nearly made if the ball had only traveled another 37 yards. Thanks, that's from Robert Sue. Okay. There was a goose staring at me in the window. How could you expect me to be back on time?
Robert Sue. He's new.
Morning, boys. Great show today. Last night, my wife came back from Dubois. Was that a place in Limay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that? How the hell do you know
I
that?
have friends who like to go to Dew Bowl.
Is it still around?
I didn't even know it was still there.
Is that a bowling alley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dew Bowl?
They love Dew Bowl.
D-U Bowl or D-O-O?
D-U.
DU. I had like 6 300s that were thrown out.
They were thrown out.
Yeah, it was block lanes.
Geese.
What are block lanes?
Kind of illegal the way they're oiled.
Is that right?
Can't miss the pocket.
How about that? And enjoyed a man sandwich with Larry in our league and our neighbor Randy. Unfortunately, it was our new Vera Wang comforter. Iggy, what settings do you use to wash yours? Thanks. That's Grimy from South County.
Grimy from South County.
No Buck Swope today, am I right?
We got nothing
What?
from,
Okay. Doug, you were just talking about how he's...
Right.
All right.
We got plenty of time then.
No, we got one more. Tough look in the mirror today. Hey, friends, bowling texts, incoherent sock texts, a story without resolve, including a bowler with the last name Burke, Burker, Bruckett, or something that doesn't matter.
John Burkett.
The point is he didn't make money in his professional leisure sport career, and then it just kind of ended 3 hours later. Thanks. That's from the coalition of married listeners whose wives puked after ingesting Iggy's genital exoskeleton.
Oh, damn. Coalition of married viewers. Or you say listeners?
Listeners.
Okay.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, little lady.
Couple interesting ones today. No Buck Swope kind of leaves it wide open. I like Shooter McGavin, but I'm going to go for Robert Sue. Goose staring at me through the window. Kept me from being on time.
Yeah, that's the only saving grace. I mean, again, just terrible emails, but that one actually chuckled a little bit, so that counts. So I'll go with Peggy Sue or
Robert Sue. Peggy Sue got married, was with Kathleen Turner. Am I correct on that, Doug?
I don't know, Tim.
She's from Poplar Bluff. Am I right on that? Is that right?
I think so.
I thought
my nurse.
Kathleen Turner. I thought she's like Springfield or something.
Springfield, Missouri. That is correct.
Where is it?
Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, I thought that.
Wow, her and Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, Springfield, yeah.
Okay.
Seductive voice.
Yeah. Kind of let herself go later in
Can you
life.
imagine those two doing Body Heat together?
Okay.
Ba 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 boom.
Nice.
Yeah, she looked great in Body Heat.
That was just sultry. That was just hot.
Clip that off.
Was it?
All right, it's 9:59. Good news. Jackson and I aren't done. We've got Balloon Party and the Little Piddles Friday 6-shooter. So that's coming our way. I mean, what do we have here? What do you got?
I got a bunch of stuff.
Doug.
We got some stuff on the Battlehawks, Redbirds.
I feel like you're kind of making it up right now.
No, I mean, I run out the questions.
Yeah.
Can we have a little teaser?
Yeah, a little teaser. What do we got?
I don't. No, because whatever I read, it could be the greatest question ever. No,
Well,
go, you go, military.
No, I'm sure they're great questions.
Why don't you listen to the show sometime and then critique it? You can't
Hell yeah.
critique a show without listening.
Doug was on the show once. He was great.
I was, yeah.
You were uncomfortable with the commercial breaks.
I thought, what is this? You have sponsors and everything? You got to take breaks every 10, 12 minutes?
Sports betting question.
Oh, nice.
A Little Piddles hypothetical odyssey. And then a new segment, possibly for the third or fourth segment that I've yet to unveil. Unveil? Try the veal.
It's best in the city.
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Licks just sent in a text regarding winning the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month for April 2024. I've just learned I won Listener of the Month. How do I get a picture of Kevin Na sent in so it can be used for the Instagram post?
Can't.
It can't be?
Well, I'm not going to just post a picture of Kevin Na and say, congrats to Mr. Licks. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
And are you going to Judas Priest? Let us know, because I said you wouldn't.
Doug, we gotta go.
Okay. Well,
Balloon Party's coming up for Jackson Burkett, for KG in O-Town, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
This is Joe Buck for Sound Story, the perfect Mother's Day gift. When I want to see my dad and hear his voice, I can go online anytime I want, but not